Let's get ready to rock and roll, and we are live. Give me 1 second here. I don't know why I didn't put my phone on mute, but we are good now. Hey guys, how you going? So down BKR Sport, we are live as the Sydney Roosters are going to be taking on the Melbourne Storm in a huge game here, especially for the Roosters, but also the Storm have to bounce back after last week's loss to the Manly Seagulls, which put them on the fraud alert, as you guys can see. We did speak about that. That was actually our last stream because I got extremely sick on Sunday, so I'm spewing. I wasn't actually spewing, but I was really sick on Sunday, guys. I had my stream set up to go for the Titans game, also the Warriors game, and unfortunately, I just couldn't do it. And usually, I'll still stream if I'm sick, but this was really bad. So I do apologise for that, but I couldn't do too much about it. Obviously, it's better for my mental health that I wasn't live streaming that Titans game, but also that Warriors game. Geez, I really wish that I was streaming for that, even though I did watch it anyway. But it was absolutely a crazy finish in that one. But now into round 21, and there is 27 rounds in a season. So we are right at the crunch now. 7 rounds to go, 7 games to go for most of these teams, because a lot of teams have already obviously had all 3 of their buys. The Storm have had all 3 of their buys, and same with the Roosters. So these 2 teams, they will be playing every single week until the end of the season, and it is getting absolutely spicy for the Roosters. They need a win today, and there is a chance for them because there is a couple outs here for the Storm. We'll get to that into a second, but guys, obviously the games we're going to be doing this round, we've got the Cowboys and Dragons tomorrow, Broncos and Eels tomorrow night as well, and then on Saturday we've got Desi Hasler's 500th game against the New Zealand Warriors for the Gold Coast Titans. You got the Panthers versus the Tigers, the Rabbitohs versus the Sharks, and the Raiders Knights on Sunday with the Bulldogs and Manly, and an absolute belter on Sunday afternoon. That is going to be an absolute ripper, mate. That is going to be a ripper. I'm really looking forward to that one. I was saying that all last week as well. I'm really looking forward to that Bulldogs versus Manly game on Sunday afternoon, because Manly are in a bit of form right now. And the Bulldogs, you know, they're kind of just kicking along. They're kicking along. They had a struggle game against the Dragons last week, but they did get the job done there. And then also there is the Dolphins with the bye this week, which is absolutely massive for them with their points differential. But it also, you know, they well, actually, no, they don't even have to care too much about they don't have to care at all about points differential. This bye is working in a perfect time where they're just going to put themselves into the top 8 for the time being, and they just hope that one of the Manly Seagulls or the Cronulla Sharks do lose this week, or the Panthers as well. Actually, there is a good chance the Dolphins do finish off the round in the top 8. But anyway, we'll talk all about that stuff over the weekend. Let's get into today's game, which is the Sydney Roosters taking on the Melbourne Storm. Obviously, guys, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new around here, and also, just quickly before we do get into the 2-team lineups, in the chat, you can obviously see there is a link to a survey that I'm doing, because I've got a couple of things I'm going to do on a video. So there's some questions there that I want you guys to answer. You don't have to do it right this second, but just keep it in mind for after the stream or when you do feel like doing it. It's just about the NRL and some things and thought process from you guys. So please jump onto that survey when you do get an opportunity. But all right, the Sydney Roosters, they come to this game from 10th position. The Storm come to this game from 3rd position, and this is at Allianz Stadium in Sydney. Now, the ins for the Roosters, Sandon Smith, probably should have been last week, Siua Wong and Tom Rodwell, with the outs being Billy Smith, Chad Townsend and Victor Radley. The fullback is James Tedesco, who is the captain, with the wingers being Daniel Tupou and Mark Nwangana-Tawase, the centres of Ethan King and Robert Toya. 5'8" is Sandon Smith, with the halfback being Sam Walker. And then you go to the props of Nafahu White and Lindsay Collins. The number 9 is Connor Watson. You go to the back row, which is Angus Crichton and Celeste Foketi. The 13 is Spencer Leniu, who was originally the 17. Now he's the starting lock, with Radley being out. The interchange, well, actually not even with Radley being out, because Siua Wong was originally meant to be the 13. He's dropped to the bench, with Zach Docker-Clay, Blake Steep and Egan Butcher, with the 18th minute placement being Tom Rodwell, and the coach is Trent Robinson. Yeah, look, recently the Roosters, they've been a little bit strange. Obviously, I say this every single week, man. The Roosters are a team that will make a billion errors, but they do usually still tend to win games. They've got enough in them to win the games, but they just make a ridiculous amount of errors. It kind of has caught up to them in recent weeks, however, with their loss to the Sharks last week, 31-18. The week before that, they beat the Dragons 31-24, but they lost to the Tigers 30-28 the week before that. You know, they made a million errors against the Cowboys, but they still won 42-8. They killed them. They made heaps of errors against the Knights, but they beat the Knights 12-8. And obviously lost to the Raiders 26-24 in a really close game. Before that, obviously winning 42-16 over the Sharks, and before that, losing to the Bulldogs 24-20. back on the 16th of May. So, look, the Roosters have been a little bit more up and down over the last month comparatively to when they were getting some pretty big results that were putting them back up into the mix, because at one stage of the season earlier on, they were down there in 17th and 16th with the Penrith Panthers. So those two teams have really changed their form around, especially the Panthers, but the Roosters as well. They have put themselves into the mix, but they are getting to a little bit of last chance season, which we'll talk about when we get to the ladder. They're not in last chance at the moment, but they really, if they were to lose this game, and obviously the Dolphins have to bye, the Sharks and Seagulls get wins, it is starting to get to, well, it's not, because they're still within 4 points, but it is really starting to get nerve-wracking times if they can't, get some good wins on the board at this very peak moment, right? So the Roosters, they do need to get a bit of a move on. Now, the ins here, Kane Bradley for the Storm and Sialongi Tuimalatu Brown, with the outs being Cameron Munster and Nelson Asafa-Solomona. So a massive out there of Munster. Nelson is a big out, but also not so much. I don't think that he's been having the greatest of form this season. But Munster is obviously a massive out here for the Melbourne Storm in a key position. The fullback is Nick Amini, with the wingers being Xavier Coates, and Kane Bradley comes into the starting wing from the 17 spot. You go to... he is on the wing. They've pushed Grant Anderson into the centres, so I got confused by the numbers. Grant Anderson gets shoved in from the 2 into the centres, with Jack Howarth as well in the centres. You go to the 5'8", which is Tyron Wishart, with the halfback being Jerome Hughes. And the props are Stefano Utuikamanu and Josh King. The number 9 is Harry Grant, the captain, with the back rowers being Sean Bloor and Elliot Katoa, with Trent Loiero as the lock. Interchange, Joe Chan drops out from the centres to the bench with Bronson Garlic, Ativalu Lisatu and Tui Kamikamitha, with the 18th minute replacement being Sualongi Tuimalatu Brown, and the coach is Craig Bellamy. This Storm team got whacked last week. This Storm team got absolutely whacked for 6 last week. I don't think they would have been expecting that. I did expect Manly to turn up for the game. I did say that. I tipped the Storm 1-12. A lot of people were thinking the Storm were going to win that game 13+ down there at Amy in Melbourne, but it just wasn't the case, and Manly came in and dominated until the Storm did come back, and they made an absolute game of it. Like, Manly went out to, I think, an 18-6 lead. It was 18-6, and then the last 20 minutes, Xavier Coates scored a double. He scored a hat-trick in the game, but the last 20 minutes he scored a double to bring the Storm back in, but unfortunately they did miss a conversion. They couldn't bring it to 18-16 there. Penalty goals were 2-2. It was actually 3 tries apiece in the game, but Garrick missed 2 of his 3 for Manly, whilst Nick Meaney missed just 1 of his 3. He got 2, the other 2. Very close game, but ultimately Manly were simply the better team there, and look, it was surprising for Manly to go down there. They did need to get a win, the Manly Seagulls, with their ladder positioning, and they got it. But the Storm, they would really be ruining that one, because that's their biggest rival. Well, you'd argue that's their biggest rivals. I would argue that's their biggest rivals, but I don't know what Storm fans think, because I don't know how many Storm fans care. But the Storm versus the Knights game, obviously the Storm beat the Knights 32-14. Before that, it was a 26-20 win over the Cowboys, with both Origin players out for both those teams. They whooped the Sharks 30-6. They beat the Rabbitohs in a very close game down at a core stadium in Sydney, 25-24. Had the bye, beat the Cowboys 38-14, beat the Titans 28-16, had a bye, and then also lost the Sharks 31-26. So, they've been doing what the Storm do best, and that is win games. They are still winning games for the most part. However, they are currently 4 points behind the top of the table Canberra Raiders right now, and the Canberra Raiders still have a bye actually to go. Like, I really do think that Raiders minor premiership is quite locked up. But Storm, basically, for me, do need to absolutely win out. They need to win out and then just hope that the Raiders lose 2 games along the way. And I can't see it with the Raiders' soft draw. So they're realistically just playing for a home final in second, in my opinion. Obviously, you're going to get a home final regardless. With you being at Amy Park in Melbourne, you're going to get that game there, rather than if you're a Sharks fan or a... Who's another kind of rule? Or a Panthers fan. Oh, no, CommBank's going to get it regardless. Let's just throw away and use the Titans here, for example. They don't get to play at Seabus. They play a home final at Suncorp, right? And the same thing goes with the Sharks. They don't get to play at Shark Park. They have to play at Allianz or at Core or whatnot. But the point is that Amy Park will get it regardless, first or second week or third week, right? But they're playing for that first week home final, which would probably be against the Dogs, right? Right now, it's kind of just between them, in my personal opinion, for that second, third. But the Warriors are still there in fourth. I just need to see a lot more from them this weekend, and they need to put the sword to the Titans by a long way to really convince me. Look, I don't think last week is too heavy to read into the Storm. They are kind of susceptible to those kind of games every now and then. And again, that is a very big rivalry between those two teams. And in rivalry games, you do throw a lot of the form out the window. Not that the Storm were extremely convincing all season long. We honestly don't know who's going to win the comp this year. There is a good argument to be made for a good few teams. And obviously the Storm are one of them. So look, I'm going to tip the Storm here today still. I can see well the Roosters do win this on the basis that it's a lot more necessary for them to. And I don't think the Storm really truly care too much. Like, obviously, ego-wise, yes, they want to come second, but I don't think they really care too much in regards to that top four, as long as they do make the top four. I don't really think they care too greatly about that. It's just about kind of getting some form going. And I do think the Storm probably win this game here today. But they are without Ryan Pappenhausen, little man on the puppy still. And they are without Munster. So that's two of their star spine. Tyron Wishart does do well in that 5/8 position, though. They've still got Jerome Hughes. They've still got Harry Grant. They've still got a good enough team here. So I just think there's too many errors in this Roosters team. There's way too many errors. In the Melbourne Storm, they did make 15, 16 odd errors last week. They made a ridiculous amount of errors. I know Craig Bellamy would have absolutely slapped them silly in the dressing rooms and all throughout the week at training. So I think that the Storm should have woken up from last week. I think they should have. So I'm gonna tip them. I'm going to tip 1-12 on the basis the Roosters do need a win here today, though. But I just don't know if they're going to be able to get it. So let's move into the ladder positioning now. So the Storm in third position. They're on 30 points, which is equal with the New Zealand Warriors, but the points differential for the Storm is 218. Whilst the Warriors are on plus 36. So massive gap there. The Storm don't have to worry about points differential at all because even the second best points differential team, the Dolphins, they're on 169. That's still 50 points below them, and they're not even in the 8. The next best team is the Raiders with plus 132, and that's still 80 below them, right? So they don't have to worry about their points differential at all here, the Storm. If they win this game, they would, for the time being, go above the Bulldogs there into second position on 32 points. The Bulldogs are plus 98. Like I said, the Storm plus 218. So Storm would go into second and then just have to hope that Manly do them a favour on Sunday. If the Storm lose this game, however, then the Warriors, they play the last place Titans. So you would have to assume the Warriors win that. Yes, the Titans have had a good record against the Warriors in recent years, and they did come up. The last time those two teams played was the 66-6 Titans win at Seabass, and they did beat them on Anzac Day over there in New Zealand 27-24 last year, but this is a very different Titans team with a lot of troubles. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you would know what I'm talking about here because I speak very openly and honestly about my club at the moment. So, yeah, look, I would assume the Warriors still get that win, and that would drop the Storm down into fourth position, which would hurt their ego, would bruise their ego quite a bit. I don't think that's really kind of how I feel about the Storm. I think they're really more so about the bruised ego rather than the actual caring about which position they finish up when it comes into the finals. They just obviously care about making that top four at the end of the day. So I would say, based off of this round, that Bulldogs Manly game is so interesting, but I do have them winning this game, so I've got them in either 2 or 3, and I could see Manly win that. So I will actually probably put them into second position, but that's just my opinion. But anyway, they're not dropping out of the top 4. On the other side, you've got the Roosters who are in 10th position. Now, 10th is the last position that I can see making the 8 right now. Anyone Dragons and below, I don't have them even remotely competing for the 8. I just don't think it's possible, especially with their points differentials down below. Sorry, I'm still getting over that sickness. It's not as bad, but I'm still getting over it. Really rough. But look, I don't think that anyone below 11th or below can make the 8. So the Roosters are the last kind of chance team out of those bottom dwellers, and they're on 22 points, which is equal with the Dolphins. But as I said before, the Dolphins are on plus 169 points differential and have a bye. So the Roosters cannot jump them regardless. And the Roosters have a plus 8 points differential, which is it's just not great. Now, first off, if they lose this game, they will just stay in 10th position because the Dragons and the Tigers are 4 points below them on 18 points. And their points differentials are minus 58 and minus 101, respectively. So it's just not going to be happening anyway. And that's what I'm talking about in regards to those points differentials. They're not making the 8, right? So the Roosters lose this, they will stay in 10th position. But if they win this, now the Dolphins are actually in 6th. Yes, the Dolphins are actually in 6th position with their bye. So drop everybody below Panthers to the Sharks down 1 spot. But if the Roosters win this, they would go equal with Manly and the Sharks. And the Sharks have plus 21. Manly have plus 60. Now, the Sharks play the Rabbitohs this week. You would assume they win. And Manly play the Bulldogs. That's an interesting game. The Roosters would have to win today by 13 points to go above the Sharks today. Which, again, I can't see happening. And they would have to win this game by 52 points to go above Manly before that Manly game starts against the Dogs. So, yeah, look, I would still say that regardless, I've got the Roosters in 10th win or lose here. And this is why I'm saying it's so hard to even see them making the top 8 right now. But they are in the range. They just need to win games. And this is a real key telling point to see if they can go toe-to-toe. And that's the thing that I always say as well. If you make the 8, okay, it is kind of a like, if you're a Titans or a Tigers or a Knights or not even Warriors anymore, Cowboys, Dragons, Eels, these kind of teams, if you just make the 8, it is a successful season, right? Because you just kind of wanted to be there and be amongst the fray. But for teams like the Roosters, they do genuinely just want to compete with the big dogs. And this is a big dog team here today. So, look, I think that win or lose, Roosters probably finish off this weekend in 10th regardless. But then again, say the Roosters win this game by 6 points and the Sharks capitulate against the Rabbitohs, which we all know is possible, by about 7 points or more, then the Roosters do go above them. But that will be, we'll have to wait and see in regards to that one. But all right, guys, there's the preview for today's game, my prediction, plus also the ladder and whatnot. Let me know your thoughts in the chat. Obviously, hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new around here, and let's get into the chat and see what you Muppets are saying. Let's do it. All right, let's move this bad boy across. And there we go. Olivia Reed, member for 27 months. Deary me, God help us. 27 months, Olivia, with a Broncos fan. Oh my gosh, how have we survived? I've seen your message already. How have we survived, you know? Oh my goodness me, Olivia. Holy shit, 27 months with this Muppet. How have you put up with me for this long? I didn't even see that part. I saw the 27 months with this Muppet, so I thought I'd get one in a little bit of a jab first. But then you said, how have you put up with me for this long? I already answered it. I don't know. You know, gee, God help us. God help us, Olivia. But thank you very much for supporting the channel. Skunkle member for 27 months. Twins, Olivia. No, don't thank you for supporting the channel. But we appreciate Olivia. Don't appreciate Skunkle. Never. No way. No way. Does anyone here appreciate Skunkle? I'll put my hand up and say, not me, son. Not me. That guy sends me the most ludicrous stuff on Instagram. It's disgusting. He's a disgusting individual. He is. He is. I'm just trying to live my life. Trying to survive here in Vietnam. I have a beautiful view right now of Vung Tau, but just trying to survive, Skunkle. Leave me alone, you know. Crazy Cool Cat. Hello, mate. Eugene has been timed out because he hasn't learnt yet. Eugene, there is a rule here on the channel, and that is that the only team, and this is a rule based off of a fact, the Storm only has one S. Just a one S. Storm. There's no plural. No, there's no plural storms. There's just the one storm. Full stop. So you do not have two S's in the Storm. No, it's illegal. It is illegal on BKR Sport. Nikhil says, evening all. Don't forget to hit the likes on your way in. Subscribe if you're new. Exactly right, Nikhil. Exactly right. Jared Force's Warriors Titans game of the year. Yeah, 66-6 was a great game last year. Ronald Mel says, when is the game starting? Game starts in about 5 minutes time, I think. I think it starts at 4:50 my time, which would be 7:50 your time in Australia. So yes, not too long away. Good survey, good questions. Appreciate Skunkle. Skunkle says, cough phone call in Thailand, cough. I don't know what you're talking about, buddy. I'm not too sure what you're talking about. You're talking some crazy... I'm in Vietnam. Don't know what you speak in Thai. No, I don't speak Thai here, mate. Don't do that. Cracky says, I got 2 multis on today on Teddy and Coates to score for 35 and Storm to win Tupou. Well, we're going to get 10%, aren't we? Olivia Reed with the $8.02 donation. So that almost didn't make it. I was watching Catfish. I want the Roosters to win, please. You're watching Catfish? What's Catfish? Like, I know what the word catfish means, but is that like an actual TV series about a catfish? Is that I don't actually know what that is. But thank you very much for the $8 donation. Get around you. Brenton says, mate, the footy gods weren't in our favour last weekend. Brenton, the footy gods are never in our favour. We are a Titans and Knights fan here, mate. We sit here, we don't sing Kumbaya, we just sit in silence and realise that we are shit. All right, that's what we do. That's what we do, okay? Deary me. You know, you got to start clicking on here, Brenton. You got to start clicking on. They definitely weren't in favour with you, though. Ibby says, I have Roosters to win because Storm have been inconsistent. Oh, okay. Really? Oh, really? You got the Roosters to win because the Storm have been inconsistent, haven't they? You got the Roosters to win because the Storm have been inconsistent. Well, what was the Sharks-Roosters game last week? Or what about the Roosters Tigers game 3 weeks ago? They went against the Dragons, 31-24. They won 42-8 against the Cowboys. In their last 4 games, the Roosters are 2-2. So is the Storm inconsistent? Is Storm inconsistent? It's like if you tip the Roosters, sure, but in their last 4 games, the Storm are 3-1. They only lost last week. So what? Besides last week, the Storm beat the Knights, the Cowboys, the Sharks, the Rabbitohs, the Cowboys, the Titans in a row. The Roosters are 2-2 in their last 4 games, and they lost last week as well. So it's like, okay, I can understand the tip of the Roosters, like because Munster's out and whatnot, but based off of inconsistency, I would definitely say the Roosters are way more inconsistent and make a bunch more errors despite last week's error count for the Melbourne Storm. I'm just a little bit confused about why the Roosters are not inconsistent, but the Storm are apparently inconsistent. If this is hoping Storm fall off here, it's looking real possible too, as Storm are set to play Brisbane twice, Dogs once, and overall the hardest last few games in the entire comp. Is this the same Melbourne Storm we're talking about here? Is this the same Melbourne Storm? The team that love to play those games? The team that has a better record at Suncorp than the Broncos do? This is the same Storm we're talking about here. Your opinion's fine. I just question a lot of the opinion, but like your opinion's fine in regards to that. I feel like I'm getting the vibe right now that you would prefer the Storm to fall off rather than you think the Storm will fall off. Because I'm really confused why the Storm are inconsistent, but the Roosters aren't inconsistent. The Roosters are in 10th. The Storm are in 3rd. They win this game, they go to 2nd. The Roosters lose this game, they go from 10th to 10th. Or if they win this game, they probably go from 10th to 10th. The Roosters coming off a loss last week. Storm coming off a loss last week. Before that, the Storm won 7 games in a row, whilst the Roosters won 1 game in a row. Really confused, but, you know, your opinion. But all right, the game has started here, and it will be the Roosters kicking off to the Melbourne Storm. They're going to bring it out through Tyron Wishart, gives it off to Utuakamanu, and he'll take it out to the 10. Now, I'm going to refresh this scoreboard before we start getting people having a crack. Don't have a crack at me, I'm an innocent bystander. Innocent bystander over here. Mate, I'm innocent. Jared Ford says, Raiders are a real problem. They've been a real problem for a long time now. Jacob says, what did you think of Robbo picking Townsend? Oh, I spoke about that last week. That was an awful decision. All right, so 3rd tackle. The Storm now at the 20. They go out to the right-hand side. And now 4th tackle, they'll be at the 25. Olivia says, my lord, you are old. Me? I'm sure Jay knows what it is. It is a series. Oh, okay. It is a series on online dating. They go and expose their online lovers. Often they aren't who they say they are. Are you talking about the show from like 20 years ago, 15 years ago on MTV? Is that the show you're talking about? Daniel Tupou now will bring this ball out of the 35. If you're talking about that show, then I know that show, but then that show was like 15. Are they still going with that show? Oh, damn. Dearie me. See? I am old, but for the completely opposite reason to why you just suggested I was old. 2nd tackle now at the 35, and now 3rd tackle, and they'll beat the 45. So what's the scoreboard? No doubt, see it in 5 minutes after not refreshing it. Well, I did see it after 5 minutes, but the refresher already has refreshed, son. You are so slow. Oh, my goodness me. Typical Pommy boy. But out to the left-hand side, Connor Watson. Good little move. It gets it up to Angus Crichton. He'll cut back inside, and they'll be 35 metres away from the line. 5th tackle. Scarrow says, hopefully this game has better content than Hainsey playing Rugby League 26. Where's Hainsey just gotten? Oh, to be fair, it's the Roosters playing. All right, so up it goes, and 5th tackle. Roosters will get it because no one tried to get it for the Storm, but it gets dropped, knocked on into the Storm hands, and they'll be taken back to the 5, but they'll bring it back out to the 15 now because I don't even know whether they can bring it out to the 10, but sure. It would have been 0 tackle, now it'll be 1st. Still going. I did hear a lot of that show was manufactured, though. Like, there was one guy who was very aggressive when he got caught out being a catfish and they found out that he was an actor. So don't believe the entire show. But that was a good show back in the day. That show was like at its peak when there were shows like Dating in the Dark and What are those other ones? Dating in the Dark and we Date My Mum and stuff like that. 4th tackle for the Storm and W35. They were the peak days of MTV. Or Fox 8, it was. Jersey Shore. Well, Jersey Shore's like still going, but in like an older version. 5th tackle at the 45. Is Geordie Shore still going? I'm pretty certain Jersey Shore is still cracking on, just under a bit of a different name, but the same characters from 20 odd years ago. Daniel Tupou now picks this ball up at the 20. It'll be first tackle at the 25. I'm pretty certain it is, from what I'm aware. And right hand side, off to Nwanga to Wase, and he'll be at the 30. 2 minutes in and first advert, must have bills to pay. Said Watson, I do not do the advertisements here, the advertisements. They're not me. My hands up here. Shake them like it. That's a penalty to the Roosters. Penalty to the Roosters here at the 35. That's huge. Time Wishart gives that one away. Not me, buddy. Olivia, don't you dare start insulting Love Island. Don't you dare. Love Island's been great this year. It's been great. Lindsay Collins gets that penalty there. So they should get this ball to about the 40 or so. Date My Mum for cash would have been better, Jared says. No, there was an actual show of Date My Mum where you wouldn't get to... there was one guy and there was like 3 mums and you would date the mums and then you would select which mum you liked the best and then you would get to actually date her daughter. That was the show. That was legit back in the day in like the late 2000s. All right, so second tackle at the 30 and they go left-hand side. James Tedesco and he'll be taken down at the 20. Third tackle. Yeah, that wasn't a joke in regards to the show. Those shows are serious. So 6 again now. Sam Walker back to Angus Crichton. Roosters definitely started off this game the better. And I'll be first tackle 15 metres away. They go out to the left to James Tedesco. Tedesco, he will be 8 metres out now from the line. Second tackle off to Connor Watson, then to Sam Walker. Sam Walker at the 13. Gives it to Sandon Smith. And so let's say Faketi now 10 metres away from the line. Connor Watson, he'll give it to Sam Walker. Sam Walker to James Tedesco. James Tedesco, short ball. Good defence there. Very good defence in the end by Kane Bradley. 4th tackle for the Roosters at the 6. Sam Walker, there's not a great deal of shape going on in this attack for the Roosters at all, but they push away from a tackle, and this is going to... Oh, that's going to be knocked on from the Storm, so 6 again for Melbourne. Knock on from the Roosters, but... Sorry, 6 again for the Roosters. But the Roosters will get the ball here at the 10. Craig says, I've never heard of MTV. What is it similar to? Craxy, how old are you? That's not me insulting you, I'm just asking, because MTV is it's like the biggest... Well, I don't know if it is now, to be fair, I don't watch TV anymore, but MTV, back in the day, it's like the biggest music... It wasn't even on MTV, but it was like an MTV created show. It was on Fox 8, on the old Foxtel. But scrumming to the Roosters 10 metres away. Beauty and the Geek was... Beauty and the Geek, I never really got into that. Marsh Troop! Oh, try time for the Roosters. Is that? It came out of nowhere. That came out of nowhere. I'm 18 in 65 months. What the fuck is that? I'm 18 in 65 months, Craxy. Excuse me. I'm probably like 40 in 65 months. So try time there for Daniel Tupou on the left-hand side, and the Roosters off to a banging start here, and it's 4-0 with the kick to come. Brenton says, when will date my daughter and pick a mum here? It's probably airing right now. I hope that's what I'm going on. That's what I'm going on for sure. But that was a really good pass from James Tedesco there. Just a real quick tap on, and Daniel Tupou scores in the corner. And Toops is really like the first try scorer in most games now. He's doing it a bunch. Brett the Tenth, remember that show? Such a great idea. Nearly as great as people getting married that don't know each other. Go the Roosters. Yeah, what's that show called nowadays? I remember when Farmer Wants a Wife was a big thing. Like, that was the big thing at one stage. Farmer Wants a Wife. That was huge. And then the girls, they all wanted a farmer. And then they realised when they went and lived on the farm, they didn't want to marry a farmer anymore. They realised that the farm life is actually quite difficult, especially if you're a city girl. If you're a city person, moving out to a farm is actually not as easy as you would imagine. 4-0 to the Roosters. Married at First Sight. That's the one, Davo. Thank you. There was also another one. Dating in the Dark was crack up, but there was also another one. It was like where like they were all the people were on a bus, all the girls or all the guys were on a bus, and there was one girl or one guy outside, and they would just get off the bus, and then they could just like say, I think it was called Next, was it? Oh, Sam Walker with a great conversion. It's 6-0 to the Roosters 7 minutes in. I think it might have been called Next, and you could just say Next at any point of the day, and then it would just bring out the next date or some shit. That used to be a thing as well on Fox 8. But Dating in the Dark was peak. 18 and 5 months. Okay, 18 and 5 months makes a little bit more sense, but you could have just said 17. You could have just said that, but 65 months is a bold strategy, Cotton. Someone says, Cracksy been learning those big numbers in maths. It's what we do here on BK Sport. This is BK Mathematics from time to time. So 30. Yeah, Olivia, type in Google Next MTV show or Next Fox 8 show. I think it was MTV. So now the Roosters will bring that was definitely MTV. First tackle now for the Roosters, 13 metres away here from their own line. Sam knows all these shows. Of course Sam knows all these shows. He's a freak, that guy. He's a freaky man. So Connor Watson, he'll come out to the 30, get the offload away to Angus Crichton again, and he'll just run across field and get this ball out to about the 35 or so on third tackle. Roosters definitely playing the better footy. Nafahu White, they'll get it out to the 45. Storm haven't barely even touched the ball. Have the Storm actually touched the ball just yet? Okay, so the show that I loved when I was younger was The Biggest Loser. Anyone else? Oh, yeah, I know The Biggest Loser. That was like mid-2000s, wasn't it? Like when it really was kind of peaking. Sam Walker, but all the people who would lose weight, or the people who would win money would tend to spend the money on food at the end of it, after it. Like the one guy who lost the most weight and won it, he won the million or whatever it was, and then he just got extremely fat again and became like 300 kilos again. So it's a penalty to the Melbourne Storm at the 20. Penalty to the Storm. Crazy says that sounds low budget as hell. Correct. These shows were all low budget. Like I said, that Dating in the Dark show was literally, you would date people quite literally in the dark. You could not see them. And there was no lights to guide you anywhere. Just dating the person in the dark. So first tackle now for the Storm at the 45, blind dating in the dark. Harry Grant, first tackle. Jerome Hughes off to Utukamanu, and Utukamanu will be at the 50 on second tackle. This is who you win. Who I win? Who I win? Well, I took the Storm pre-game. I did say the Roosters would be up for it, but I went Storm 1-12. But the Roosters have been much better in this opening 10 minutes. 10 minutes gone here, 30 minutes to go the first half. Hit that like button and subscribe. Roosters leads 6-0. And it's a 6 again to Melbourne at the 30. Jerome Hughes gives it off to Trent Loiero, who gets his ball to the 25 now. So, look, I still am going to back in the Storm because it's still early doors, but the Roosters have been the better team very clearly this first 10 minutes. Which is why you can see the score as it is. Second tackle, Harry Grant. Gives it to Tyron Wishart, Jerome Hughes. Short ball, gets the offload away, Nick Meaney, and he's going to be 4 metres out even the line. Third tackle, Harry Grant, he'll go for a scoot. Realises nothing on, gets the ball to Jerome Hughes. Hughes kicks this ball through. That's a great kick from Jerome Hughes. Oh, did he get it down? Yeah, he did get it down. Sorry, for some reason it looked like he might have dropped that ball, but I'm pretty certain he got that down. And that is a try time there for the Melbourne Storm. Josh King will get the try, and that was a nice little dinky kick late in the tackle from Jerome Hughes that gets Josh King over the line right next to the post. Damn, I can't wait to get... I don't know why I'm just constantly sick over here in Vietnam. Been here 2.5 weeks and it's just been sick nearly the whole time. I like your new accommodation. Did you do some painting today? Well, I'm in a different place now. I'm in the same building, but a better apartment. Everyone says he wanted to attempt the challenge again. I don't know. As Cliff Thomas says, bro, can I watch the live stream? Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can watch the live stream of the game. You just need KO. That's how it works. Because you see, like the issue is that like there's broadcasting rights, so you can't show it for free. You know, that's why you're looking for an illegal stream. Brenton says, "What's with you leaving? What's with you leaving countries and then they start wars? I'm seeing a correlation here. I was in Thailand when they were going up against Cambodia. Dude, the thing is that all these countries, they're always fighting. Always. India and Pakistan have been fighting each other for centuries. And they will fight each other for centuries. The quicker you realise that, the better. So that's 6-6, 12 minutes into the game. 6-6. Well, I'm in Vietnam. I don't think they're getting into any fights, are they? Is Vietnam getting into any fights somewhere? Left, right, and centre? I don't know. Definition of vision from Hughes. That's what he does. He used to watch Punk'd on MTV. Yeah, Punk'd was good back in the day. Yeah, Punk'd was funny. Jaden says the game is live on Channel 9. There's also that option. Yeah. Don't want to jinx yourself. What? Vietnamese people are beautiful people. They're beautiful, beautiful people. Who would want to fight the Vietnamese? The Americans found out the hard way that fighting the Vietnamese is probably not a good idea. Probably not the greatest of idea here in Vietnam to try and attack with the landscape. Bit of an interesting decision there from America, but you know, and Australia. Second tackle now for the Storm, and they're going to be at the 20. Vietnam had a big fight a while back, I think. Yeah, a little bit of one, Brett in the 10. A little bit of one. I'm actually not too far away from Long Tan. Long Tan, which is, I think it's about 3-4 hours away from me. And they'll get the ball to Harry Grant. I don't even know if it's that long. Third tackle off to Josh King. Josh King will be at the 42. But they did pretty well for themselves, Brent. They did pretty well. Someone says, get the sniffy pot. Maybe it's withdrawal symptoms. Mate, he's always got the sniffy pot from Thailand. Oh, yeah. Fit tackle. Jerome Hughes. Maybe that is exactly right. I haven't been doing it as much as I need to. Storm kick it up. Knock on Daniel Tupou. Grant Anderson gets it. And that's going to be actually a knock on from the Storm first. Actually a knock on from the Storm. The food over here is amazing, David. The food over here is amazing. Listen, you can't support the Sharks when you're a long-term... No, he's not talking about the Sharks again. No, Blitzy, you are not allowed back on the Sharks bandwagon. You told us. You told us you are an Eels fan. We refuse. You are never a Sharks fan again now. Never. I'm more of a Sharks fan than you are because the captain goes down with the ship. Predicted them first pre-season. They scammed me, but they're off to scam now. But you can't jump on our wagon. Get off our wagon, buddy. Second tackle now to 28. You're a Parramatta supporter now, buddy. Third tackle now for the Roosters at 35. Breton says, history is not my strong point. I hope Vietnam doesn't well find out when you leave. Oh, mate, Vietnam, they can protect themselves. They know what they're doing. They'll just build. They build like underneath and then like jump out of the ground and shit. Like they're good here. They know what they're doing. James Tedesco from the dummy half. He'll run this ball to the 45 and be fit tackle now. Blizzy says, I was just pointing out what's right in front of us. Para greatest team of all time. People forget about Peter Sterling and the Storm didn't cheat the salary cap. Okay, you need help. We know that, but you definitely, that's emphasising the need for help that. Brandon says, let's go to the Storm. Appreciate the 1S. Really appreciate that. Second tackle now at the 28. And Jerome Hughes gets it off to Nick Meaney. Nick Meaney, Tyron Wishart, and then Xavier Coates. Hat-trick hero last week. Maybe not a hero because he didn't get the win, but he was unbelievable last week. And Xavier Coates is actually his 100th game tonight. Police says Gal started as a Para junior. I don't know why you're talking about Gallon. He doesn't play for your team. But he was a junior for your club, if you didn't know. So Nwanga Tawase grabs that ball to 20, brings it out to the 30, to 35. Good run here. Gets the offload away to Robert Toya, and Toya steps back on the inside. It's the 50, the 45. Oh, I couldn't get the offload away, but geez, good start there for the Roosters. They're at the 45 on the Storm side of the field. Off to Sam Walker, then to James Tedesco. Tedesco underneath to Angus Crichton. And Crichton today, he's not running the ball hard. He's just kind of like scooting to the right a little bit and maybe getting an extra 3 metres or so, but he's not running the ball hard at the line. James Tedesco steps, taken down at the 22, third tackle. Someone says, if your first team doesn't win, might as well select another. They can't win as well. Makes sense. Yeah, a team that can actually win less. Robert Toya, but at least you're not set up for the unrealistic expectations anymore. Even though Eels fans now think that with Moses back, they probably would have won the comp. I don't know where the delusion comes from, but like this is a very big thing the Eels fans have said, that if they had a full-strength team all year, that they would be a top 4 team. Good luck with that. So they kick that ball across. Tupou! Oh, he's unbelievable in the air. Oh, he's unbelievable in the air, Daniel Tupou. He really is. He really is, Daniel Tupou. He scores a try in the corner again, 10-6 with a kick to come, and Daniel Tupou being Daniel Tupou. That's what he does. That is what this man does. Everyone says he loves a team that can't win a premiership. Well, at least the Sharks won 9 years ago. But unfortunately, that's not his team. Daniel Tupou up in the air over the top of Kane Bradley. Kane Bradley just never really had the positioning there. Tupou too strong and brings it down. And I would honestly, and I'm still going to say Daniel Tupou and Xavier Coates, the two best wingers for up in the air. But I would say Daniel Tupou this year clearly has been the defined best in the air. The defined. How many more rounds until playoffs? So there is 27 rounds in a season. We are in round 21. So 6 games. 6 games after today. From next week. Round 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. BKR maths. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Blitzy, remember 45 months of Stags, my favourite player. We share even ground. That's great, but he plays with the Broncos, and that's a team in the top 6 right now, mate. You are a Eels fan in the bottom 4. Benny West, I'm going all right, mate. I'm going all right. I'm doing well over here in Vietnam. It's nice. I just wish I wasn't always getting buddy sick at the moment. But I think it's, I don't know, it's probably just flus going around in this time of the year. I don't know. Not sure. Olivia says, I love how we have just forgotten about the top fan thing. Yeah, it just never really clicked on. Never really cracked on, to be fair. Real Fan Sports says, Tigers, yes, we both do support real shit teams, mate. That game was absolutely awful, and both teams deserved to lose that game last week. That was fucking pathetic. Seb Watson says, always good to have half the salary cap sitting on the pie, and Dylan Brown too good. Yeah, Dylan Brown, not even an Eels player anymore. Not even an Eels player anymore. 3 plus 3 equals 6. Thank you, Brent. Thank you, Brent. Just in case people didn't know, 3 plus 3 does in fact equal 6. Does in fact equal 6. But 23 minutes left of the first half. I've already seen 3 tries in these first 17 minutes. Already seen 3 tries. No defense on offer today. But when it comes calling... Oh, Daniel Tupou, by the way, everyone talking about Alex Johnston on the 207, but Daniel Tupou is in the top 5 for try scorers. Oh no, Roosters. Daniel Tupou, stop it. That is hilarious. All you have to do is touch that ball with your foot over the dead ball line, and he just... Oh no, so that ball's going to bounce over the dead ball line. The Storm are going to get a drop out here because Daniel Tupou didn't want to touch the ball. Was it really? Yes, mate. I just didn't get back from the wedding until hours later. Saw he won, so I had to come troll a little. The thing is that you can't troll me because if you've been watching my Instagram stories on BKR Sport, you would know that ultimately losing for us is better right now because it's the only way that our organisation actually takes accountability for its bullshit actions. So I... think that a win against the Tigers would have covered up some patches with some bloody sticky tape that cost 20 cents from bloody Walmart or Aldi. So no, losing that game is ultimately better because it's the only way for this club to actually look at itself and say, well, we're just simply not good enough and we need to change our shit. And honestly, winning against the Warriors, I want to win for Des, but I don't think it's going to happen. But I just hope the organisation doesn't then think it's amazing. And that's going to be, oh my gosh, that's going to end up being a dropout here. Yeah, dropout from the Roosters to the Storm. Tupou, 2 tries, but a couple of weird mistakes in these last few moments. It sounds like some good on cope. Okay. If you watch my stories, you'll understand. It ain't cope. It's, I want this club to realise that what they're doing and what they've done for a very long time now is not acceptable to the fans. So, yeah, sure, like the Tigers, congratulations, they're not going to win the wooden spoon this year, but they've still won the 3 wooden spoons in the last 3 years, and they're still absolutely on the development stage, and if you watched last week's game, you would have realised that we both deserve to lose that game. So the Storm now at the 25, we just earned it even more. So out of the left-hand side. But I understand, 1 second here, out of the left-hand side, Xavier Coates will get the offload away, try to top the Storm out of nowhere, Jack Howarth will score. Jack Howarth will score in the corner. It is 12-10 with a kick to come. Anyone who knows me and anyone who watches my content is very, very well aware how pissed off I am at the Gold Coast Titans this season. Everyone is extremely, extremely aware. I don't hide it. I do say it. And I can absolutely tell you right now that the best thing for us right now is to lose, because it means that our club and our organisation cannot hide away from the bullshit that they've done for the last 15 odd years. Specifically the last 5 years though. Specifically. So, you can call Cope what you like. But at the end of the day, I've been very consistent throughout this season. Brenton says, why did Des tell the boys to get out of the shower? Some say because they had a flight to catch. Des is just frustrated. And I can understand why. But he's also not free from criticism. 12 down to the Roosters. 20 minutes to go in the first half. Hit that like button and subscribe. Olivia says, I'm marking myself absent for Saturday as I'm going to a concert, so there's your chance. You're always at a damn well concert, Olivia. You live at concerts. But it says, Bulldogs win the premiership. Words can't describe the pain I will feel. I'm sure because you're an Eels fan, so they're your biggest rivals. But probably because your house will get burnt down, because Sydney will be destroyed as a city. And Manny will miss... Oh, he did miss a kick. It was close. It looked like it... Yeah, it looked close anyway. So it's 12-10. They miss a kick. Brenton says, oh, that's right. Come Melbourne Storm boy. Yeah, they got the try, but they do miss the kick. Really good offload here from Xavier Coates with 2 players around him. He just waited. James Tedesco got to him, and then that freed up the space for Jack Howarth to get underneath. I didn't see the stories, but I know you keep it real. No hate. No, I understand, mate. This isn't about the Tigers. It's about the Titans. Whenever the Titans get brought up, obviously right now my anger will come out, especially with organisation. So it's got nothing to do with Tigers, mate. We could have lost to the damn well anybody. That's why I tried to say that to the Broncos fans a few weeks ago and a couple months ago or whatever, when we played them both their times and we got flogged 28-0 in the first half or whatever. I was like, I'm not angry at Broncos. I'm not angry at all. I'm angry at my club being stupid. Storm here at the 30 on a consistent level, not just one game. Third tackle now at the 35. Ken Brosey, you have the angers going around right now. No, I agree. Mitchell's good. Mitchell says Bulldogs and Premiership in the same sentence. Well, they're one of the teams absolutely contending, but I'm scared for the city of Sydney. Harry Grant, great run. That's going to be, I think, a knock on there from the Roosters. So another 6 again here for the Storm. Sean Bloor gets the offload away to Jack Howarth, and Jack Howarth will get taken down to the 45, first tackle. Oh, what? They said not touched. I don't understand how that wasn't touched, but sure. So Storm will kick that ball up, and it's going to be drop ball from the Roosters. So now this will be the 6 again. Ball don't lie. Ball don't lie. Adam G. Ball don't lie. Storm ball at the 15. Another knock on there from the Roosters. So Storm will get an attacking opportunity 15 metres away. Ball don't lie, Matabish. Olivia says, the Angels Hoodoo Gurus at Sandstone Point Hotel. It's their 10th birthday bash. I saw the Hoodoo Gurus at Doomben Racecourse when I was like 6 years old. Because my dad lived on the same street as Doomben Racecourse, right opposite the train station there at Doomben. So he took me down. Obviously, he didn't take me really for the races, but he took me down to watch the Hoodoo Gurus. I could see it. That's why I felt bad for bringing it up. Yeah, it's got nothing to do with Tigers. It's got to do with our fuck-ass organisation. So the Storm now is 8 metres away here from the line on first tackle. I actually back in Beck, but I back in Beck Frizzell. Second tackle at the 5, but I need to be convinced as well. Harry Grant, short ball. I just know she cares. I know she cares about the club. Otherwise she wouldn't be here, Rebecca and Brett Frizzell. But I still need to see the actual club get the shit together. Tyron Wishart, Sean Bloor. Good hit there from Robert Toyer. Taking him down to the 5. Harry Grant, quick play the ball. Gets the ball across to Drum Hughes. They got numbers galore if they get the ball out. Oh, good defense from the Roosters. 6 again for the Storm, though. Ball's cut the back. Jerome Hughes, the 15. At a 10. At the 5. Taken down. It's going to be first tackle. And that's got to be another 6 again against Sam Walker. No, apparently not. Out to Tyron Wishart. Wishart at the 10. And that's a high tackle. No, he gets the offload away to Harry Grant anyway, but they didn't call the high tackle. Interesting. And Roosters' defense just looks all over the shop right now, but they are finding a way to cover. It's going to be second tackle for the Storm, 3 metres away. Harry Grant goes to the scoot. That's, I think, a knock on from the Roosters. Yes, it will be. So Storm will get the ball back out of the 10. Ibrahim says, really don't know what team will win the premiership considering each team hasn't been good. Well, that's a little bit harsh. I'm not going to say that each team hasn't been good. They've got their negative aspects for sure, but the Raiders have been good. They've got negative aspects, but they're very good. The Storm have their negative aspects, but they're still very good. There's a reason why they've got plus 200 points, 220 points differential. Bulldogs have got plenty of negative aspects, but they're still very good. I don't know if I'd say very good, but they're still good. Every single team has their negative aspects, but I think that's harsh to say that no team's been good. First tackle now for the Storm at the 10. And now Tyron Wishart, who'll go right-hand side to Utuukamanu. And Utuukamanu will push off one. And there's bum action. We got the bum action in our faces. Second tackle, 9 metres out. Out to Wishart. Wishart to Meaney. Toya slips over, but he still makes the tackle on the end. Third tackle. Xavier Coates gives it to Tyron Wishart. Wishart then off to Loiero, and Loiero is 15 metres away from the line for tackle. 15 minutes left of the first half. Harry Grant, he'll run it to the 9. Oh, that's an easy try. Geez, couple of broken tackles there. Some pretty poor defence from the Roosters, and the Storm will score through Harry Grant. Makes it 14-12 with the kick to come to make it 16-12. Real fans was at least they aren't the Pelicans. Oh no, the Titans are Pelicans. Warriors would be my favourite if they didn't lose Metcalf. They have been so fun to watch. Get around my boy Tan. He had a poor game last week against the Knights, but get around my boy Tan. Back him in. Back him in. Oh, you would say the Warriors would be your favourite to win the comp? Nah. Why? And actually, and for the purpose of your conversation, with Metcalf, assume Metcalf didn't get injured. Why do you have the Warriors to be your premiership favourites? Why? Because to provide further context for you, in the top 4, they were the third best defense in the competition behind the Bulldogs and the Storm, but attacking wise, they were in the bottom 5, and this was with Luke Metcalf. So I'm taking out post Luke Metcalf. I'm talking about with Luke Metcalf. They were bottom 5 for attack across the competition, but they were in the top 3 for defense. So I couldn't have had them as my premiership favourites. Ooh, that is going to be a big HIA there for Sandon Smith, as he's had an accidental head clash. So once I put my money down the Panthers 8-1 last weekend, I still don't see them winning the comp, but I think they've done some really good things to get themselves back up into it. So, of course, says Kevin Walters, new Kangaroos coach in the NRL 2025. Well, not the NRL. Kangaroos is not the NRL. That's the brand. That's the organisation rather than the actual sport of rugby league. But you'd also be looking at ARL there. So Sam Smith comes out there. But look, if you're a coach of Australia, you should still never lose. Honestly, you can get Buddy Hughes a call. You could get yourself to be the coach, and they still shouldn't lose because the team ultimately picks itself a lot of the time. But Samoa getting a pretty good team. And Nick Meaney will get the kick. I did say, I think it was 4 years ago, Meaney gets the kick, so it's 16-12. I did say a few years ago when the Tonga hype was happening that I saw Samoa was building a better team. I didn't have them above them yet, but I did say they were building a better team, and now they have built a better team. So I'm pretty happy about that validation. Tonga have kind of stagnated a little bit. They have stalled. Tonga's stalled in their international progress. Samoa absolutely have come back up. I still don't think they beat Australia, but they've still come back up. New Zealand are always going to be good. Need Papua New Guinea to get this NRL team in to start developing them big time. Real Fan Sports commit the bias of games. Oh, Roosters go short and they get the ball at the 33, and James Finesse goes away here at the 25. Good run, good kick. So Roosters with the ball 22 out. Now they're on the attack already. Could be the bias of the games that I've been able to watch of theirs, but they play fast and elusive. Ooh. Fast and elusive. Sometimes. I think a team like that, when at their best, would be hard to beat. Sure, but they haven't also beaten a top 4 team this year at all. Third tackle now for the Roosters. Well, I wouldn't necessarily say the Warriors are overall fast and elusive, but maybe. Again, your opinion is your opinion. Fourth tackle now, 8 metres out. But they haven't beaten a top 4 team at all this season. They've lost to the Raiders twice, one of them being a flogging in Vegas. They've been flogged by the Storm, who they always get beaten well by. Roosters 5 metres out. They go left-hand side. Sam Walker kicks this ball into the corner for Daniel Tupou again. But this time Kane Bradley does get it, and he go down about 4 metres out. But it's a strip. Nope, but Jerome Hughes gets the ball, so 0 tackle, 4 metres away here from their own line for the Storm. So yeah, they haven't played the Bulldogs yet. They've lost both games to the Raiders, and they had their annual big loss against the Storm. But the Roosters will take the Storm over the sideline here, so it's going to be Roosters ball 10 metres away. Really big start here for the Roosters. Really big start in this game. I know they've given up 16 points, and their defense has been dreadful, but overall it's been a really emphatic start from Sydney. David says, Storm put a request in to play Tigers every round next season so they can get over 1,000 plus differential. Fair enough. May as well put it against the Titans too. Sam Nixon says Raiders or Dolphins. I'll take the Raiders. But the Raiders are due a loss, actually. The Raiders are due a loss. No, well, wait. Also, Raiders or Dolphins? What are you talking about? They don't play each other this week. The Dolphins have a bye. That's a penalty of the Roosters. That's a random question. What do you mean? Why Raiders or Dolphins? They don't play each other this week. Sebon says Samoa might if they get Tino and Haas. If they get Tino and Haas, sure, but I still will always be concerned about the half situations in the islands. Because Jerome Luai will get them as far, but I don't think that Jerome Luai on his own merit will get them past like Australia or New Zealand. It's like, yeah, you can get past Tonga, who also have halves issues always, but Jerome Luai and Harris Savita or Jerome Luai and Blaze Salungi doesn't necessarily get you going a great deal comparatively to, Munster and Tom Dearden or Jerome Hughes and Dylan Brown kind of deal. Out to the left-hand side, Sam Walker up to Tedesco then gets it to, who is this? I can't even think of the centre's name just then. Oh, Ethan King, that's why. So third tackle, and Lindsay Collins! Oh, he gets the offload away. That's touched by the Storm. So 6 again here for the Roosters. Angus Crichton now on 0 tackle. Gets it to Zach Docker-Clay. Hits, no advantage. So knock on Storm, yeah. So Roosters will get the ball here at the 10. I'd say the most fast and elusive would be the Raiders at the moment. Raiders do play some really electric footy. You'll never say the Storm play fast footy. You'll never say... Harry Grant sometimes, but you'll never say the Storm overall play greatly fast footy. They're more structured and defined. Broncos play fast footy, but that's their detriment. Panthers can click it on when they want to click it on, but they're not overall fast footy. They're also very much structured and defined. The Bulldogs try to play fast footy, but don't necessarily go to plan. Or I got to sleep before I get up and put this game on. You sleep before you put this game on? What do you mean? The game's on now. 10 minutes to go here, the first half, guys. Hit that like button and subscribe. 10 minutes to go. 16-12 to the Storm. And 6 again because Liero is in the play the ball. So first tackle for the Roosters, and they're going to be about 8 metres away from the Storm line. Down by 4, Nafahu White rolls it to Zach Docker-Clay. Docker-Clay to Connor Watson. And a couple of hookers linking up there. Connor Watson taking down at the 4 on second tackle. Zach Docker-Clay across to Nafahu White. That wasn't the play. Third tackle, 4 metres away. Now Sam Walker. Sam Walker to Tedesco. He slips over and he'll be taken down 8 metres out. 4 tackle. Attempted to turn my computer back on. It's 5 a.m. Well, it's at 5. Oh, you haven't slept and it's 5 a.m. Gee whiz, you are a night owl, son. You are a night owl. I consider myself like a night person, but also I'll go to bed at like 2, 3. Sam Walker. Maybe 2, maybe not even 3. Oh, it's drop ball. Roosters try. Storm, you should have had that. You should have had that. You should have had that, Storm. But Siwa Wong will mop up after a Melbourne Storm error, and it's 16-16 with a kick to come. Very unearned try there with that really poor drop ball from the Storm. But regardless, Siwa Wong will be there to put the ball down over the line at 16-16. No defense in this game. Is there like a touch here from someone to... How does he... Oh, man, he just... Jack Howard just nowhere in the right position. Like, he jumped past the ball and the ball's gone behind him, so he reached back and he's dropped it, and Siwa Wong gets it. Yeah, that's just a poor drop there. That's a real poor drop from Jack Howard. Did the Storm concede 17 errors last weekend? I think it was, mate. I think it was 17. I'll go have a look, because I mentioned it on my Instagram stories. I'll go have a look. So, it was close enough anyway. I think it was 17. Because it rings a bell. Where was it? No, it was 16. It was 16 errors. So, no. You are still equal with the Roosters and Cowboys for the most errors in a game this year, Mr. Resolute. At the Newcastle Knights. Chase says he does not miss. He definitely does, son. I've made him miss. Mitchell says, 2 a.m. Gee whiz, how long are you wanking for? What you realise when you travel, mate, is that Australia is a very early country. Because it's very much a get up early, wake up, get fit, have a coffee kind of deal, and then everything shuts by everything kind of shuts by 10 o'clock at night, 9, 10 at night overall. Whilst the rest of the world, shit doesn't open until late and doesn't close until later. Asia definitely doesn't. That's going to be conversion. So it's 18:16 here to the Roosters, 7 minutes to go. People in Asia, or a lot of the world, don't actually have dinner until 10 p.m. at night. I mean, I'm not even joking. Like in India. In India, most people are eating at 9, 10 p.m. at night for their dinner. I remember when I first got to India, when I was first in Delhi, yes, it was during Ramadan or Ramzan in India. Yes, it was Ramadan, but it's also mainly a Hindu area, Delhi, than Muslim. But there is still Muslims, but it's still mainly a Hindu area where things are closed during the day. But coffee and stuff wouldn't even open for the most part, in Howes Castle, the area that I was in, until 10, 11 in the morning. And as an Australian, you want shit early in the morning. 2 a.m. is his boom boom time. Jay knows all the slang and all the slogans for this part of the world, doesn't he? Knows all the boom boom slang. Second tackle. Soon he's going to be speaking to me in Thai or Vietnamese in regards to how much. Third tackle now at the 23. 16 for the Storm is wild. Brenton, we spoke of this last week. Absolutely. Wild. So fourth tackle now for the Roosters at 30. Cheaper after 2 a.m. See, there you go. I know what he's referring to too, you sicko. You're a sick man, Jay. You're a sick man. He does his research, the old Mr. Hayes from Perth. Does his research. Cheaper after 2 a.m. Deary me. I know what he's talking about. Anyone who's been in this area knows what he's talking about. You're a sick man, Jay. First tackle here at the 25. Jerome Hughes doing too much research on Patea. Doing too much research on Patea, that man. Third tackle, and the Storm will get this ball to the 40. Well, they don't get any prettier after 2 a.m. Mate, jeez, fourth tackle here at the 50. Harry Grant goes to the right-hand side. If they're there after 2 a.m., it's because no one's grabbed them. Jelly Bean says, do you think they will find a way to talk about Lockie Galvin after this game? They're probably going to start speaking about Lockie Galvin in about 5.5 minutes' time at half-time. Sure. And Daniel Tupou gets taken down here at the 18. Brenton says, yeah, a lot of Americans eat at 10 p.m. Oh, I'd say America's different in regards to where. In regards to, the location. A lot of, I feel like, and this is just completely talking out my ass here because I haven't been to this area. Tuwasa nearly gets away. Taken down at the 40 on third tackle. I'd say a lot of the central areas and the south probably eat at a pretty respectable time. A lot of the big city life probably is different. Fourth tackle. New York, there wouldn't be a time because it's 24/7 city. Roosters, Connor Watson, and he'll be taken down at the 45 or so. I'd say Chicago, that area is probably still at a respectable time at about 6, 7. Maybe 8. But, America is a very different country. It's like India. It's so big that there is so many different cultures and different ways of life in the different areas. Like Australia is all pretty similar. It's all pretty much the same despite a little bit of differences from this state to this state. But it's all pretty much the same. America and India and stuff like that, they're so big that their cultures, South is so different to the Midwest, which is so different to the East Coast, the West Coast and stuff. 4th tackle now to 30. Arizona, Midwest. Well, Chicago's Midwest. Maybe Chicago's just a big city, so that's a bit different. Jerome Hughes steps around. He's at the 40. He's got plenty of space here. He kicks the ball over the top with a little dink. And Roosters grab the ball down to Tupou. Nicely done there. 3 minutes 50 to go the first half. It's first tackle for the Roosters at the 25 to James Tedesco. Then to Robert Toya. And Toya will be at the 30. 10 p.m. though in America. I've only really lived in Chicago, so that you might be right. James Tedesco, they give it out to Daniel Tupou at the 40, the 45, the 50, and he will get taken down just after the 50, 4th tackle. I would love to go to like 3 months just to Kentucky, or just like a random place like Idaho, and just live there for like a couple of months and just see how life is there. I'm a big people watcher. Sam Walker, spiral bomb back to Nick Meaney, and Meaney now will bring it out to about the 15. Take him back to the 13, first tackle. Roosters have definitely been on top of this first half. The scoreline doesn't reflect how much better they probably have been, but they have been clearly the better team in the first half. And now Jack Howard crunched by Lindsay Collins and a big hit. They roll it back quickly to Harry Grant. Play the ball speed from the Stormers in pretty fast today. They've got space, they've got space, they've got space, they've got space, they've got space. 35 at the 40, forward pass. They're actually away to the Storm, but it will be classed as a forward pass. So it will come back and the Roosters get another attacking opportunity to end the half. Geez, Lindsay Collins with a huge shot there on Jack Howard. Huge shot. Whoa, I don't know about that being a forward pass. I don't know about that. They called that forward? Jeez, I disagree. I got to disagree personally. Don't know about that one. But either way, is a forward pass. Minute 50 to go here, the first half. Connor Watson. I thought that was like an earlier pass that they called. I didn't think they called that one of the last pass. Brent says he's done any touristy stuff in Nam yet. Not really just yet, because I've been so sick for so much of it. But I'm going to go to long turn, which is going to be cool. Second tackle at the 20. One sec, I'll go through this set and we'll talk about it. Nafahu White, he'll be 13 metres away from the line, third tackle. And Zach Docker-Clay, he will go to the left-hand side of Connor Watson. Connor Watson across, good step. But Ethan King, 5 metres out, fourth tackle. And penalty to the Roosters. Do you take the 2 points on offer here? It's out to the left-hand side, but I think they probably do. With a minute to go, you will have a full attacking opportunity 10 metres out, but there is the opportunity of a free 2 points if you want it. Yeah, you are going to have to score tries to beat Melbourne. Cronk is right there. So 10 metres out, they won't go over the 2. They give it off to Lindsay Collins, who's 5 metres away. Mitchell says kick a field goal. If they end up kicking a field goal at the end of this set, I'll throw up that they didn't take the 2. Sam Walker and Nafahu White. You can't take a field goal now at the end of this set because then you just lose a point. You lose a point on what you could have had. Second tackle, Zach Docker-Clay. Sam Walker kicks it through. Jerome Hughes. And don't worry about the field goal. Don't worry about the penalty. Just worry about Sam Walker kicking that ball on second tackle right into the hands, the breadbasket of Jerome Hughes, who now has the ball. Storm on the second tackle, 10 metres out. Well done, Roosters. I still like I like the choice of not going for the 2, but I don't like the choice of going for a kick on second tackle. Don't know about that. Not sure about that one. So Harry Grant off to Wishart. Wishart at the back here to Jerome Hughes. Jerome Hughes at the back again. Oh, don't let Storm score. Oh, they get the offload away. 8 seconds to go here. 6 seconds left. They give it off to... and no, that wasn't the play. All right, well, there you go, halftime. And it is 18-16 here to the Roosters. Not much defense here in this game. Not much defense in this game, but the Roosters are keeping themselves alive in that top 8 race. If they can hold out for this win, they would go equal with the Sharks and Manly, and just really have to hope that the Sharks or Manly get beaten quite well this week to go above them, but there's definitely no guarantee or good enough shout that the Roosters go into the top 8. I doubt that. But at the end of the day, they are up 18-16, and they have been the better team so far for sure. They have been the better team so far, but let's get through some of these stats here at halftime. Obviously, hit that like button and subscribe if you are new around here. We will be here for both games tomorrow, which... Is there a good game tomorrow? I don't think there is. I think tomorrow's games are pretty... Cowboys, Dragons, but could be close. Broncos, Eels, God help us. Gee whiz, the main game, Broncos, Eels, God help us. But the possession-wise, Roosters 51%, Storm 49%, so very, very even. Time possession is 12 minutes and 12 seconds for the Roosters, 11 minutes and 47 seconds for the Storm. Both teams' completion rates, pretty good. 90% for the Roosters at 18 from 20. That is very unheard of for Sydney Roosters. They usually make errors galore. That was a really good first half from them because they did not make many mistakes at all. 18 from 20 is great with 90%. And 80% for the Storm is still very solid. Anything above 80% is where you need to be, and they're at 80% with 17 from 21. All runs-wise, now the Storm actually got more runs here with 79 runs compared to the Roosters at 69, which is interesting considering that the Storm have completed less sets and have had less time with the ball, less possession, so that's very interesting, but sure. 79 runs for the Storm, 69 for the Roosters. The Storm are at 632 run meters and the Roosters are at 594. So it's a 40 or so meter gap right now. But if you try to equate it and compare the two, if you give the Roosters 10 runs to get to the 79, it's now 70, so they're at 604. Jeez, hold on. They're at 70 for 604, Storm are at 79 for 632, so give 9 runs to the Roosters. 10 metres on average per run will bring them to 90 metres. That's 694 metres compared to the Storm of 632. So with the Roosters getting the same amount of balls the Storm are getting, they're pretty much, they're showing pretty significant dominance in this game. Like they're getting a lot more run meters. Not like a drastic amount, but it's still like up by about 50, 60 meters if they were to get equivalent ball. But overall, they haven't had the equivalent ball. And it's 632, now 618, 71, so they are actually kind of going by that 10-metre metric. Post-contact meters, despite having 8 less runs, the Roosters have 209 post-contact meters to 202 for the Storm, again showing that the Roosters are dominating. They are getting that middle of the field, they are getting some really good post-contact, and they are getting some good meters with the ball. Line breaks is 1 apiece, tackle breaks, wow, Craig Bellamy will not be happy here. Roosters, 27 tackle breaks in the first half, the Storm are at 19. That is outrageous. You can understand it with the Storm getting 19, like 19 missed tackles for the Roosters is not unheard of, but 27 missed tackles for the Storm at halftime is absolutely outrageous. Wowee. Now, this is a very key telling point too. Average set distance, yikes. So, anything under 25 metres on an average set distance, anything under, you turn the stream off, it's horrific. Luckily, we don't have to do that today. 25 to 30, you wouldn't even spit at it. 30 to 35 metres on average is underwhelming, not that great. 35 to 40 is average and what you would expect. 40 to 45 is great. 45 to 50 is fantastic, and 50 plus is incredible. Perfect first half. The Storm are at 30.96 metres on average set distance. That is very underwhelming. It's now 31.44 on the update. 31.44. That is still on the very low end of underwhelming. Not good enough. It's really just not making a great deal of meters every time you have the ball in the average set. But the Roosters are underneath that. They're in the wouldn't even spit it category of 29.78. That is awful. That is on the extremely high end of awful, pathetic on an average set distance. They are not making many meters. They're not even hitting 30 meters on an average set right now. They're at 29.78. It doesn't look like that in the game, but that is the stat, 29.93. So both these teams are performing at an excruciatingly bad pace on the average set distance, but the Storm are now at 32.2 and the Roosters are at 29.93. As you guys know, these are updated at halftime. Average play the ball speed is 3.28 for the Roosters, which is pretty fast. That is actually, it's not extremely fast, but it's pretty damn well fast. And then the Storm is 3.75, which is extremely slow. Wow, that is a really slow play the ball. But Harry Grant has been mixing it up. Like some play the balls, he's been really, really fast with it. And some play the balls, obviously, has been extremely slow and more so on the slower point with 3.79. Offloads is 7-3 Storm way. And then you go to the kick defusal, which is 57% for the Storm, 36% for the Roosters. Yikes. Oh, no. Defensive effective tackle percentage in this game. Well, it is 18-16, so there is 34 points in the first half, so this will explain it. Anything above 90% is incredible, a perfect first half. 88 to 90% is the expectation, the marker to hit. 85 to 88% is underwhelming. It's just not good enough. And anything under 85% is just pathetic. It's a really, really bad first half, a bad half on tackle percentage. Both teams are under 85%. The Roosters are at 83.67% and the Storm are at a pitiful 82.97%. Both these teams defensively today have been awful. 83.67% for the Roosters, 164 tackles made for 20 missed tackles and 12 ineffective. 32 bad tackles in the first half. 32 bad tackles in the first half. That is really not great. That is really, really poor stuff there, and that's why they're at 83.67%. It's just not good enough. But then the Storm at 82.97%, they've got 13 less tackles made with 151 tackles made, but a whopping 27 missed tackles and 4 ineffective. So at the very least, they are limiting their ineffective tackles by 8 on the Roosters, but they've given up 7 more missed tackles, and 7 more than 20 is ridiculous. You know, like 27 is an insane amount of missed tackles. Like that is a missed tackle count with like 20 minutes to go, 10 minutes to go of like a really poor defensive team too. Like 27 missed tackles is just disgusting, especially for the Storm. So 32 bad tackles there for the Roosters, really aimed up there by the ineffective, and then 31 bad tackles for the Storm, but really aimed up by the missed tackles. It's not a great defensive showing here from these two teams. Negative play, oh my gosh. The Storm are really struggling. 7 errors for the Storm, 6 errors for the Roosters, both at a really poor level, but 6 is kind of the cutoff as well. Like 6 and under, anything 6 and under is kind of, you can make an argument for it that it's kind of average. Like it's what normally happens. Anything under 4 is incredible, but 6 errors is kind of average. But 6 is the cutoff. 7 and above is just not acceptable. And 7 errors in the first half there for the Storm is not great. Penalties conceded is 3-1 Storm. Ruck infringements is 2-1 Storm. Inside 10 metres is 1-0 Roosters, and on reports is 2-0 Storm. So the Storm are very ill-disciplined in this game. Very ill-disciplined. Extremely so. Roosters with a few errors, and nowhere near as bad as what they have in most games this season. The defence from both these teams overall has been pathetic. Kick defusal is not great. Storm are at least getting some offloads, but they play the ball speeds extremely slow to the Roosters, pretty damn well fast. Average set distance for both teams is in the low 30s, which is awful. Line breaks is the same. The run meters is 10 meters in advantage of the Storm at 680 to 670, but that's with 12 more runs. So the Roosters are killing them in the middle of the field, and the completion rates are actually pretty good at 90 and 80%. But overall, don't come to this game if you're looking for defense, because, or discipline. Defense and discipline have been thrown out the window in today's game. But yeah, that is the halftime stats. Adrian says, bro, I apologise, I haven't had access to data, but Xavier scored. No, Xavier Coates has not scored. Josh King, Jack Howarth, and Harry Grant has scored, whilst for the Roosters, Daniel Tupou scored twice, and Siwa Wong has also scored once. So no, Xavier Coates has not scored so far. But anyway, I'll answer Brenton's question in regards to touristy stuff, and I'm going to go Long Tan, which is not too far away. I have done the Ho Chi Minh to Vung Tau by ferry, which was really cool. There is the Christ statue here in Vung Tau, which I'm going to go to tomorrow, which is really cool. It's got a great view of the entire area. It's a nice little hike up a hill to the Christ statue. But no, I've just kind of been living life, and that's me. Like I'm not a huge guy of a need and necessity for the touristy stuff. I like just kind of putting myself in a country and putting myself in a city and just living. That's kind of what I do, man. So, like, I've been down the beach here, and it's not the greatest beach. It's a nice looking beach, but it can get a little bit dirty, and there's a lot of construction going on around. But no, just like walking, getting lost, and just eating local food, and kind of kicking around. But I will go to Long 10. I want to appreciate that side of the history and whatnot. Like, I did still go to the Taj, and I did still do a few touristy things in India. Not as much as what normal people would probably do. But yeah, no, I just like existing, mate. Louis says, I can't believe he's dating a pot plant now. What? Have you seen any monkey? What? Dating a pot plant? Who? I don't know what you're talking about. Olivia says, have you seen any monkeys yet? In Vietnam? I wouldn't necessarily... Is Vietnam known for monkeys? Thailand, sure, but Vietnam? I don't think Vietnam's really well known for monkeys. Well, not in this area, anyway. But in Thailand, absolutely. And in parts of India, for sure, like Agra. Agra, where the Taj is, was littered with monkeys everywhere. Everywhere. Not so much Udaipur. Not so much Jaipur or Delhi. But Thailand, obviously, there's a whole monkey mountain in Hua Hin. But I wouldn't necessarily say Vietnam is known for... wouldn't say Vietnam is necessarily known for monkeys. Oh, the Insta story. The pot plant over there. Yeah. Nah, beautiful woman over there. Beautiful. Enough monkeys in the chat. Plenty of monkeys in the chat, Skunkle. Plenty of monkeys in the chat. Brenton says, yeah, that's fair enough. Just being in another country is experience enough. Absolutely. You know, like, it's just... When I was on the Gold Coast, I would have the same repetitive view. So, like, I would go to every single game and watch them lose, away or at home. I would go to every single Titans game, and that was repetitive, but still loved it, but it was still repetitive. And then you'd get the complaints from an idiotic organisation. But then when I'm not at games, I'd be at home in varsity at the time, and I would have the same repetitive day every single day of just looking at the same walls or the same outside or just whatnot. It was fine, but here, like, I've got a great view. In Thailand, I had a completely different view and was in a different place, and it was awesome. But I'm always mixing it up. I need change. I guess that's a negative as well, though, because you can't really stay put. But I'm just like, I need change. I need it to be mixed up, and that's why this is great. Louis says, "Jeez, that the pot plant, yeah. You just need change. So that's why it's like." Just literally sitting here doing this. And then I've also got my dad in town. Like, my dad's obviously in Vung Tau, which is cool, even though he did over his leg. He broke his hip and leg, which meant that I had to sleep in a Ho Chi Minh hospital for a night, or I think it was 2 nights. And that wasn't fun. This first 2.5 weeks of the Vietnam trip has been very interesting, man. Very interesting. Still have time here, 18-16 the Roosters. I'm actually going to go quickly to the bathroom here. Quickly to the bathroom. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. I'll be back in a moment. All right, we're back. I realize I have like this strawberry tea thing as well. It's so sweet though. It's like way too sweet. And in Vietnam, they have like these massive straws for everything. I don't know if I can, without spilling it all. It's so sweet, but I have to drink it, otherwise it's a waste. All right, second half is starting. Thumbs up, subscribe. Storm will be kicking this ball off here to the Roosters. And that's what they do. So the Roosters now will get this ball in the in-goal. Daniel Tupou after Lindsay Collins, and he's going to bring it out to the 15. Had a great blueberry smoothie before, though. This strawberry one's just way too sweet. Wow. That is very sweet. Second tackle for the Roosters. They'll get this ball to the 20. But I'm trying to, like, get myself off of, like, Coke Zero and stuff. I want to drink a lot more water. A lot more healthier drinks. That I wouldn't necessarily say is too much of a healthier. It is healthier, but there's just so much sugar in it. Put some gin in it. Yes, as I'm trying to get a bit more back onto the healthy train, I should put some gin into it. I'm not a big gin drinker, to be honest with you. So Sam Walker at the 45. I'm also drink like whiskey or tequila for shots, but not like just for fun. Whiskey is what I enjoy probably most. So first tackle now at the 20. And Wishart off to Xavier Coates will get to the 25. I'm not a massive alcohol drinker. If I party, I party, but like I'm not a massive alcohol drinker. New hotel, same place, just different room, better place, a better room. So fourth tackle now, I'm on Airbnb. Fifth tackle for the Storm, and they'll be 45 metres away here from the Roosters line. Airbnb, I would probably actually recommend more for India. I would actually probably stay more so at Airbnbs than hotels. Because hotels will get you cost-wise. No one to Wasa will get this ball to the 35, first tackle. Different countries, different things. That's probably going to be a penalty. Harry Grant, to be fair, did pull him down just then. Jellybean says, who would you say is the best coach this year? Best coach this year, I would probably go with Ricky Stewart. And that's not just because they're first. That's because most people tipped the Raiders coming in last or in the bottom 2, 3. I tipped them for 9th. Tedesco here. No, that's an obstruction. That is an obstruction. So Storm will get the ball here to 45 with a penalty. I had them for 9th, which was on the higher end. But I did give them a real good positive rap at the end of last season. They are in first. So I'm saying Ricky Stewart by a country mile. Undisputed Twins is which team do you go for? The team that is currently undefeated on top of the ladder right now. So James Tedesco, unfortunately, runs into a hole created by Angus Crichton. No, it's not Angus Crichton. It's Egan Butcher. Oh, jeez. Egan Butcher gives away quite a few penalties, eh? Undisputed Twins Wise Titans first. This is the ladder, mate. It's the ladder. You got to ask why the NRL is the NRL. It's the official ladder here, mate. So Jerome Hughes here, he's grabbing at something. God bless him. I hope he's all right. Like he's grabbing at his left shoulder. Looks like something's up. You don't want that from your star halfback. And New Zealand at this time of the year would start to worry as well. He's in great pain. He's coming out of the game here. It's his left arm. I don't know if it's his shoulder or if it's his like bicep arm or I don't know what's going on here. Or is it his chest? Is it like pec area? I think it's his shoulder. Oh no! Well, Jerome Hughes has done something serious here, and he will be coming out. So as he's tried to get at, maybe it's his like bicep or something, or no, here. Oh no! It's in like the shoulder joint. And he's in a severe amount of pain. Jerome Hughes will not come back today. And keep your prayers with Jerome Hughes, Melbourne Storm. Because that looks like a real bad injury. Hope he hasn't torn his pec. Yeah, I hope not. But he wasn't grabbing it like his pec. It was more so like the upper shoulder area on like the... I don't know. Maybe popped his shoulder. No, it wasn't even that. Like it was a... I don't think he's popped his shoulder because he probably would have seen them try to pop it back in. No, I don't know. But anyway, it looks pretty bad, so hopefully it's not too bad. 6 again for the Storm, 15 metres away, first tackle. And Storm fans would hate that too because it was often a legal play for James Tedesco. So second tackle now, 8 metres out. Harry Grant, he goes left to Anderson, off to Wishart, Sean Bloor, Jack Howard, 10 metres out, third tackle. Now they're without Cameron Munster, they are without Jerome Hughes, and they are without Little Pappenhausen. Jeez, the Storm are in a world of pain, injuries-wise at the moment. And it'll be fourth tackle, 12 metres away from the line. Harry Grant, he'll go left-hand side, kicks it through, just slowed up a little bit, but it does go dead for a 7-tackle set. Who's going to halfback now? Well, you'd probably assume that Tyron Wishart will go into the 7. And then who will go 5'8"? Oh, maybe you've got Harry Grant pushing in, or unless Bronson Garlick goes there, maybe they might, because they don't really have anyone else that they could do, unless they put like Nick Avini as the 5'8", and then chuck like Xavier Coates into the fullback, and then put like Wishart 7. I don't know. I'm not sure. It's a hard one. Do you think the Storm will suffer from a Jerome Hughes injury? Of course they will. Third tackle at the 40. I mean, even without Munster, they're struggling against the Roosters. They might even slip out of the fort. They're not slipping out of the fort. Fourth tackle now for the Roosters. Their points differential is way too good. They're effectively 8 points away from jumping out of the fort with 7 games to go. And also, it's a 2-point game right now. Fifth tackle now, 22 metres out. I feel like you hate the Storm, maybe. Like, I feel like you hate the Storm. Like, I understand. If it wasn't for kind of what you were saying before the game started, which didn't really make sense in regards to inconsistency, it seems like you just really kind of want this. You're looking for every single reason to say the Storm are going to completely fall off. And it's like, look, sure, with no Munster, with no Pappenhausen, no Hughes, that would be really detrimental to their team. But, like, dropping out of the top 4, they're plus 220 points differential. Roosters are effectively fighting for their season in a lot of ways. They're like 6 points clear of 5th position, they're 4 points clear of the Broncos, but their points differential is 140 points differential better, which means ultimately they're 6 points clear of the Broncos. You would have to then rely on the Broncos winning pretty much every single game from here on out, and the Storm losing another 2 games. So it seems like it's more so coming from a hatred point of view rather than an actual analytical point of view. So Watson says, put Stefano at 7, come on Storm. I don't mind Storm, I just like my team to move up. That's great, but that's more so out of want rather than actual think. So the Roosters now 30 metres away, 4 tackle. So Watson says, put Stefano at 7, come on Storm. I like it. Get him in. James Tedesco steps inside, and if we take it down here at the 12 and 5th tackle, well, the Roosters are a good team if they're not making all the errors, and today they haven't made the ridiculous amount of errors that they normally do. Tedesco is trying to milk a crusher tackle here. So the bunker's going to review this, and, I don't know. I don't know. I don't actually think that he comes down on his neck there. I feel like he's felt that he's right next to his neck and maybe he's trying to milk this. I don't think that he's... Like, the action of what... I think this is play... Joe Chan's come down. Yeah, there's no penalty here. He's come down in a position that if he was a little bit to his left would have been a crusher, but it wasn't a crusher. And Roosters will score! The Roosters score next to the post. Lindsay Collins goes up in the air and scores right next to the post. So it is 22-16 with a kick to come. Jelly Bean says they just play on. Well, it was play on. Like, it wasn't a crusher. So Watson says, bit of Chris Bunker Butler. Well, the Bunker didn't get involved. And I'm appreciating that they didn't. And the Roosters will score right next to the post. So 22-16 with 32 and a half minutes to go here of the game. And this is what the Roosters can do when they're not making all the errors that they normally do. They normally average out to around the 15 to 17 error count. And this is... The Roosters are a decent enough team. Like, yeah, their defense has been abhorrent today, but the Roosters are a decent enough team when they don't make errors. That's why they can still win games even with their error counts. They are top 3 for most errors in the competition. They are, Yeah, they're on 222 errors. The Knights are on 229. The Cowboys are 237. And then in regards to games played, the Knights have played 18. The Roosters had played 17. And the Cowboys have played 18. So both teams with one more game. So the Roosters, with today's game, will go above the Knights for error count into second. But that's not based off of a bad error count. They just needed 7, and they've had 7 so far. But the Roosters are okay when they're not making a million errors. Well, they've only made 6, but they will make another one by the end of the game. 32 minutes left, 24-16 Roosters. Oh no, Walter, you've done yourself a mischief there, Saint Storm with an S. There is only one S, mate, not 2. There is only one S, not 2. Seb Watson says, no way Knights only have that many. Seems like 20 a game. Pretty much is. Pretty much is. We'll see in 5 minutes, Mr. Walter. Have a look at yourself in the mirror. There's only one S in Storm, my friend. So the Roosters. Daniel Tupou will give that ball off to Lindsay Collins, the try scorer, and he'll bring it out to the 16 or so. Jerome Hughes has been ruled out with a dislocated shoulder. A dislocated shoulder. Oh, Jellybean, you've done yourself a disservice too. Maybe you've made a mistake of your own trying to sneak one in there. You did put 2S in that. It's unfortunate for you. But we'll be seeing you in 5 minutes too. You got to learn today. You got to learn today. 4 tackle for the Roosters at the 40. Zach Docker Clay. That should be 6 again for mine. No? Okay. 5th tackle for the Roosters at the 50. And Sam Walker will kick this ball into the corner where it will be Xavier Coates who brings it out now to the 25. Strong run back. Go on your Roosters. Get around the Roosters. Get Cameron Smith on, Jack says. No, Cameron Smith. He's not going to be coming on today. Because he plays golf, mate. He plays golf, the old Cameron Smith. Maybe get the... maybe bring Desi Hasler play halfback for him. If he's out of the Titans, well, maybe they can chuck him on as halfback for the Melbourne Storm. 4 tackle. He does know how to play a bit of halfback, the old Desi. So 30 minutes to go now of the game. Hit that like button and subscribe if you're new around here. The Storm are down by 8, 24-16. They're 45 metres away from the Roosters line of 5th tackle. Yeah, try for try in the first half, but the Storm, I just think it's a bit too much in the hard basket now with no Hughes, Munster or Pappenhausen in the game. That might be him for the season, usually like 12 weeks. Yikes. Well, that really opens up this competition now. That opens up this premiership again even more so because the Storm, I know they lost to Manly, but you probably would have said, geez, you need Munster. Like, I don't know what's happening with Munster. Pappenhausen apparently back next week, but both their halves out right now. Yikes. What is the injury with Munster? Dislocated shoulder, Brenton. Dislocated shoulder. 5th tackle. And now Sam Walker. And they kick it to Kane Bradley. And Bradley is going to bring this ball out now to the 25. Good run. That's a big loss there for the Melbourne Storm, man. And for New Zealand, because that'll impact into the international period. Because you've got 7 weeks from today. 7 weeks of regular season. And then 4 weeks of finals. That's 11. And then you're pretty much going straight into the international period. What is it, 2 weeks after the grand finals when the Pacific Bowl, Pacific Cup and stuff get underway? So that will impact New Zealand. Becky says, don't think Munster is injured. It's his dad's funeral. Thank you, Becky. Okay, well, that will help the Storm a lot more. I was wondering, because I didn't hear anything about the Munster injury. I just knew he was out today, but it's hard for me to keep track with everything whilst being overseas. Yeah, that's... Well, I'm not going to say it's a positive, but it's a positive comparatively to an injury that he's not injured. So 2nd tackle now for the Roosters at 25. They can't get the shoulder back into place. Oh, drop ball for the Roosters, but it will go backwards. No, they're going to say knock on. Whoa. Well, he clearly knocked it. I'd challenge that. Crichton's saying to don't challenge it, but I swear he knocks this back. That's poor from the Roosters there. However, I can't remember what I was actually saying. I was saying something. I think that goes backwards, man. But Crichton told him not to challenge it. Anyway, so Tyron Wishart, 13 metres out. Storm try and get themselves back into it. Harry Grant off to Tyron Wishart, back to Nick Meaney, and Meaney is going to be 5 metres away from the line. First tackle. Harry Grant will give it to Utukamanu, and it's going to be a 6 again for the Melbourne Storm. They are 2 metres away. Utukamanu rolls it back here to Harry Grant. Off to Grant Anderson. Anderson to Wishart. Wishart now is going to be 3 metres out. I think Grant Anderson's playing 5'8". I think he is. Yeah, Grant Anderson's playing the halves. Grant Anderson is currently playing in the halves for the Storm. Now Harry Grant gets a 6 again there for Melbourne. And Harry Grant will take it out 3 metres out. First tackle. First tackle. They roll back to Tyron Wishart. Wishart off to Josh King. And Josh King on second tackle now. 5 metres away. They'll roll it to Harry Grant. Harry Grant off to Utukamanu. Offloads to Harry Grant. Then across again. And Sean Bloor runs it himself. 2 metres away from the line. Third tackle. And Josh King! Wow, that's bad defense from the Roosters. That is awful defense from the Roosters. That is awful defense. The Storm will score right next to the post to make it a 4-point game at 24-20, but with a kick to come, and they will make it, so it's 24-22. Harry Grant needs to be the guy for the Melbourne Storm right now, and that is exactly what he's done in this set. He has been unbelievable in this set, and he gets that try assist there for Josh King as well, and that defense of the Roosters completely broke down in the middle, and it was a very easy try for Josh King just to walk over. He just waltzed over the line. Waltzed over the line. Night Riders, why can't the Storm drop like flies when they face the Warriors? Always healthy bastards. Yeah. Yeah, no, the Storm have a very good record against the Warriors. Actually, the last time the Warriors beat them was like 2017 or something, wasn't it? It's a long time ago. Jacks can't get shoulder back. Yeah, they've called it the... Oh, that's what I was saying, Jack. Yeah, they can't put his shoulder back in, so they have to call it an ambulance. They cannot put his shoulder back in, so they have called the ambulance. Just give it a little punch and it should pop back in. Yeah, may as well. But 25 minutes left here in this game. It's about to be a 2-point game. Again, Storm now without their halfback, without their fullback, without their 5'8". They've got Tyron Wishart, I would assume, playing the 7. They've got Grant Anderson, I would assume, playing the 6. That's why they put Joe Chan into the centres. Yeah, who was originally meant to start in the centres. Oh, this is one of those, like, boba tea things. Those ones with, like, the bubble tea things. Boba, I don't know. I don't think I've ever had it before. It's weird. Cryptic says, Harry's such a hard-working player. Yep, absolutely. Sione, you've been around here long enough to know there's only one S in Storm, my friend. You've been around here long enough to know there's one S in Storm. 25 minutes left. It's a 2-point game. The Roosters kick it to the Storm. Olivia said, ew. What's ew? Boba tea is very feminine of you. Well, I didn't know. It's a strawberry one too. But like, I just ordered 2 things. I got a really nice blueberry one before, which was good, but it was like an actual smoothie. This is a strawberry tea, and it's got those little like bubble things in it. I just like tasted it. I don't know. What even is it? What even is it? Lagan says, just say you're a tranny. And there we go. Lagan back on the ladyboy shit. You know? We leave Thailand. The bro's still talking about... talking buddy ladyboy stuff. Weird guy. Out to the left-hand side, Jack Howarth, and he'll be at the halfway point, 5th tackle. Brenton says, don't knock it till you try it. Like, jeez. And now it's going to be Roosters at the 10. And now James Tedesco, he'll get taken out at the 15, first tackle. Again, the Roosters are really trying to keep their season alive. Lagan says, I never said anything about ladyboys. Not all trannies are from Thailand. Do you understand what a ladyboy is? Do you actually comprehend what a ladyboy is? Do you realise that not all ladyboys are from Thailand either? Apparently Roosters. Do you understand the silliness of your comment? Dear me. Lag, you're digging your own hole here. That's apparently the Roosters at the 30. Yeah, go back to bed, Lag, and I don't think he realises that it's not like the only country that has it. Do you understand that a transvestite is the same? Like, do you understand this? It's just a different terminology. First tackle in for the Roosters at the 35. Jack says Roosters defense will give Melbourne chances, but they need Grant to control the attack. Absolutely. Well, and Tyron Wishart. Wishart will do what he needs to do as well. But you don't rely too heavily on Grant Anderson in the halves. Third tackle. No, all ladyboys are from time. Now he's just trying to put his head in the sand. I know that you realise you made a mistake. So third tackle now for the Roosters at the 20. Does a smart dogs fan exist? Mitchell says, very good question, actually. That's a very smart question. You wouldn't expect that. So 4, they get the offload away. Sam Walker at the 20. He kicks his ball through. That's going for 7 tackle set. Oh, no. Oh, yes, it will. Yeah, it will. It looked like it was going to slow down a little bit, but in the end, it ends up as a 7 tackle set for Melbourne. Especially on third tackle. All right. So 0 tackle for the Storm at the 30. 0 tackle. And now the Storm on first will bring it out to the 35. Chat GPT says chances are slim, Mitch. Thank you, Chat GPT. What does Chat GPT think compared to Chat GPT? Or is that part of the joke that I've just clicked onto? I feel like it is. Well, Brenton might just try and say it is now, but otherwise it was good from you. That's good from you if it's part of the joke. Out of the left-hand side, and it's going to be Jack Howarth, who's at the 35 of the Roosters side of the field. 25. Grant Anderson, he'll get it off to Tyron Wishart. Wishart off to Ativali Lusati. And he's 24 metres away from the line. Fifth tackle. Harry Grant, Bronson Garlick, Tyron Wishart. Now, Elias Katoa. That's 6 again here for the Storm. No, fifth tackle still. What? Oh, but don't worry, the Storm are going to score a try. I can't believe AMG didn't call out 6 again. But either way, the Storm are going to score. But Nick Meaney is also hurt as he scored. God bless him. Hope he's all right. His Storm can't deal with another injury, especially to another spine player. But he has gotten up very slowly, but he is up. But it is 26-24 to Melbourne with 20 minutes to go here at the game. Hit that like button and subscribe. 26-24 to Melbourne. Why, Mitchell? Why? But Meaney, he looked like he was looking for an offload there, but he was just able to get over the line himself. Yeah, the reason why I was asking you what you were saying ill before, Olivia, is because I thought I didn't mute or something, and I coughed or sniveled or whatever. I didn't realise which one of the two. Yeah, Meaney definitely was looking for the offload, but then just realised that it could get over the line. Good goal, Mitchell. Good goal. 20 minutes left. I wonder what kind of reception I'm going to get on Sunday for the Warriors, Saturday for the Warriors-Titans game. You know, because obviously I do have a lot of respect for the Warriors, and I'm always talking about them and doing their games and whatnot, and giving them a good rap when necessary. But also they play my team this week, so you know, am I going to get slandered into oblivion? That was me. No, it says it was timed out by Mitchell for 60 seconds. Good call, Jay. Like I said, even if they make the finals, I'll still write off the Roosters season. Roosters ain't making finals. All right, so Nick Meaney, he's 3 from 4 today with a try and 67 run meters. I would assume that he gets this. And my friends, he has got it. 28-24 with 19.5 minutes to go here of the game. 28-24 to Melbourne. The Roosters are currently struggling to the Melbourne Storm, who have no little mum and little puppy Ryan Pappenhausen. They've got Nick Meaney as the fullback. They've got no Cameron Munster and no Jerome Hughes, which means that currently their half situation is Grant Anderson in the 6 and Tyron Wishart in the 7. Maybe a mixture of Bronson Garlick too. Their centre is now Joe Chan. So the Roosters really shouldn't be giving up this many points right now, but they are. Effin Skits, his Titans are getting peeled. Okay, well, Jay, she's got rid of you. So, Effin Skits, we'll see you on Saturday, but also, don't forget, mate, we fucking smacked you 66-6 in the last game we played you. And you guys were much better than us then too. So it's like, why don't you just sit back and enjoy the game that is on Saturday, not on Thursday? And let's just watch the Storm versus the Roosters here, and then we can talk about how my team's going to get slapped on Saturday or you like. But just remember, the last time we played you, the last 2 games we played you, so the last 3 games we played you, we beat you. And we beat you 27-24 in New Zealand on Anzac Day, a pretty important day for you. And we also beat you 66-6 in your worst loss of all time in the last game, and yet we still finish in 4th last. So just a reminder that the Warriors are doing well this year, but before you start talking shit, just remember kind of what your team is also still. All right, first tackle now for the Roosters. So we'll see you on Saturday, mate. Nothing but respect for the Wars. But if you're going to try and go and talking shit a couple of days prior to it, well, I'm going to have to slap your team and remind you that your team lost 66-6 to the same Titans team last year. 66-6. To every other Warriors fan, I'm sorry I have to bring that up. But for that guy, you're an idiot. 4th tackle now for the Roosters, and they're 45 metres out from their own line. 66-6, mind you. 6-6. We scored 66 points with the 4th worst attack in the comp last year, mind you. Connor Watson is 35 metres out, 5th tackle. I didn't want to have to do this to you. I didn't want to do this to you, but you wanted to keep going, even though one of the moderators already timed you out for your first one. All right, so Sam Walker's going to whack that ball up into the air. And that'll be the Storm grabbing it through Nick Meaney at the 15. 4-point game with 18 minutes to go here in the game. First tackle. Joe Chan, he'll bring it out to the 25. Solid enough, wrong? Fair enough, Jay. No, fair enough. You're onto it, Jay. You know what you're doing, Jay. You know what you're doing. Now, third tackle. Jerome Hughes off to that's Elliot Sakatoa, sorry, and he'll be at the 50. Really strong run there. He whacked Sam Walker. Harry Grant with a great run. He saw the hole completely opened up. He got the offload away to Trent Loiero, and Loiero was 30 metres out from the line. Fit tackle. Storm are starting to get a bit of a move on now. Even though Jerome Hughes went out of the game, Storm are starting to get a bit of a move on. Out to Tyron Wishart. Wishart up into the corner, and knock on Storm. Tacey says, round 26, these two teams will meet again. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Well, the Storm will have Munster and Pappenhausen by then. They probably won't have Jerome Hughes based off of his injury today. But we'll have to wait and see what comes from the post-game report and whatnot for Jerome Hughes. But a dislocated shoulder could be a while, especially with the need of an ambulance. Mitchell says, it's like Warriors and Broncos fans don't know other teams exist. I don't think they do. Now, Warriors fans are usually good. I don't actually hate. I don't really dislike Warriors fans for the most part. Australian Warriors fans can be a different story to the New Zealand Warriors fans, though. And that's going to be a great run from Ethan King. He gets his ball to the 33 on 4 tackle. That's at the game. But no, I don't really like Warriors fans. It's just a lot of the time they do complain a lot, but I do love their passion. It's just that unfortunately when they get a little bit big for their boots, it's like despite the fact that my team's shit, I will also remind you of where your team has been in very recent years too. So fit tackle, Sam Walker. He'll put that ball up into the air. Good kick. Roosters knock it back. Zach Docker Clay with the try time right next to the post. The ball bounces for Zach Docker Clay and he will score right next to the post. It's about to be 28, or it is 28-28 with a kick to come. And they probably should get this kick. Both these teams looking like they're going to hit 30. Zach says you love Warriors fans, especially Malcolm. Malcolm's Muppet, but like most Warriors fans, I do actually like. Like our Warriors streams aren't full of dickheads. Like our Warriors streams are usually pretty good. I expect on Saturday they'll be a bit different, but like that's expected against my team. What are they saying? This might be offside, apparently, against James Tedesco, is what the commentary's saying. Oh, Tedesco may be in front. Tedesco is in front. This will be a no try. James Tedesco was in front, and he is a part of the play. Yeah, this is going to be taken back. This is going to be called no try here, ladies and gentlemen. They haven't gone to the bunker yet, but they should be. Yes, it's 100% no try. Jason S. Try confirmed? What? Oh, no way, Bunker. No way, Bunker. Stop it, Bunker. That was very clearly an offside against Tedesco. Oh, here we go. They're going to show from the above angle. But his left leg was in front of the ball. His left leg was still in front of the ball. Oh, keep going. It wasn't onside, man. Look at his left leg. Go back and have a look at it again. You can see his left leg was in front of the ball when the ball was kicked. But anyway. 3rd at 28 of the Roosters with 14 minutes to go. Disagree with the call. Lagan says, I did put a multi on the Roosters, so thank you, Bunker, for that one. Voss is standing by. That was offside. Cooper Cronk, the only reason you're not saying it's offside is because of the Storm. Even though you did, because it was the last team you played for on the Roosters. Then again, he did play for both these teams. But that's a poor call. That's a poor commentary call from Cooper Cronk, who I don't usually mind, because you can clearly see that Tedesco was offside just then. And they tried to show from above, and his left leg was still in front of him. So I don't understand how that wasn't called back for a no try. Anyway, second tackle leave of the Roosters. 14 minutes to go to the game. They're up by 2. Very back and forth game, this one. Siwa Wong. He will be 38 metres away here from his own line on third tackle. And out the back is Sam Walker. Sam Walker to Tedesco. Tedesco steps and he'll be 45 metres out. They've actually got no field goal kicker too. Unless Meany can kick it, their conversion taker, or Tyron Wishart maybe. Oh no, Harry Grant's been caught something there. He's getting up pretty slowly at the play the ball. And, it's a knock on from the Storm. Oh my gosh. Well, this might be... Yeah, it's going to be... They're going to claim this as a knock on against the Storm. They might challenge this for a penalty. Competing for it. Well, Crichton doesn't really go up for it, does he? I would challenge this from the Storm. He's going through to compete. You jump, but did Crichton jump? Because the only way that he's... Here we go. I don't know about that. The Roosters are getting some pretty positive calls here, lads. Like, that's a penalty for all money. Angus Crichton coming through. Come on. I'm sorry, but that's a penalty. And Cooper Cronk has got Roosters glasses galore on. Andrew Voss can see what we're all talking about. The Roosters are getting some very beneficial calls right now. So the Roosters now 15 metres out, first tackle. I absolutely would have challenged that if I was the Storm. But again, I've got to really question the officiating as we currently speak over the last 2 calls. Second tackle for the Roosters. They're 10 metres away. Docker Clay. They've got Sam Walker. Sam Walker back to Tedesco, to Daniel Tupou, and they're going to score. Oh, no, has he? Oh, and he's lost the ball. He's lost the ball over the line. He's lost the ball over the line. Well, ball don't lie, baby. Ball don't lie. Ball don't lie, son. Ball don't lie. That's ball don't lie if I ever did see it. That's a knock on over the line for Daniel Tupou. One of the best finishers in the game has knocked this ball on over the line. Daniel Tupou got it in left hand and he's lost the ball. Yep, 100%. Lost the ball over the line. All right, so 7 tackle set for the Storm of the 20. It was a fair call though. Why? Angus Crichton does not actually jump up for the ball, does not get anywhere near the ball. Runs through the legs of the taker of of Nick Meany, who's going up for the ball. So Crichton hasn't actually gone up for the ball and made a play at the ball, but has taken out his legs from the run through. And just because he's putting his hand up there, at the end of the day, he is looking up in the air, but he's nowhere near where the ball comes because he doesn't even make an attempt to really jump up to get at the ball. He has impacted the legs of Nick Meany, which is ultimately why Nick Meany has dropped that ball. If Crichton was actually close to even making a play at the ball, I would have been like, okay, but he wasn't. He wasn't. Just because he puts his hand up like this doesn't mean that he's playing at the ball. Yes, sure, he was looking upwards, Storm here 30 metres out for tackle. But at the end of the day, there was no world on any opportunity that Angus Crichton is getting that ball, and he does come in contact and forces the mistake on Nick Meany from it. So absolutely it should have been a penalty to the Storm. But that's a penalty to the Storm right there. They could go for the 2 here and tie it up. Ball don't lie. 11 minutes to go here in the game. Nick Meany, 25 metres out, a bit to the left. They will go for the 2. They will go for the 2 here. He has his eyes on the ball, then what can he do? Okay, let's put it this way. So if Nick Manny is up in the air and you've got your eyes on the ball and you don't even put your hand up, right? Let's just assume you don't even put your hand up and you're just running like this and you're looking up at the ball. Actually, no, let's give you your hand and put it down here, right? So your hand is here, facing the ball. And you're not actually jumping up to get to the ball. You're not actually going for the ball, really. But your hand is here, shaping towards the ball, and you're looking at the ball. And then you take the kicker's legs out from underneath, but there's no opportunity that you can get the ball. You're saying that that's a fair contest. How is that a fair contest? That makes no sense. What, was Nick Manny in too good of a position? Well, then how is that a problem of Nick Manny's? How is it? Explain to me your decision-making here. Because you can't tell me that Crichton had an opportunity at that ball based off of his body movement. You can't tell me that anything that Crichton had done there gave it... Oh, man, he's going to miss the kick. He's going to miss the kick. It will go dead, though, so it's going to be a dropout here from the... No, it's going to be a dropout from the in-goal, actually, because it doesn't go dead. So a line dropout rather than a dropout from the 20. So it actually kind of worked out a little bit better that it didn't go dead and they tackled him in the in-goal. But 10 minutes to go here of the game, guys. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. 30-28 is the score for the Roosters, but a dropout coming up from the Roosters to the Storm. Yeah, a lot of missed penalty goals of late. They are taking them from difficult enough areas. I don't even know. I was just having a G up. I'm not even watching the game. Oh, no. I'm going to time you out for 10 minutes, bro. No, it's not on, man. Like, at the end of the day, we're trying to watch footy here. We're trying to talk about footy. I don't respect that, mate. Come on. First tackle now for the Storm and they're 25 metres out. Like, I get banter and trolling and whatnot, but, like, if you're not even watching... This is not the first time as well. I'm starting to get a little bit sick of you making comments and stuff during games and talking about something that you're not even watching. Anyway, this will be your second warning, mate, because we had to warn you about this the other week. So third tackle here, don't make it a third. So third tackle now for the Storm, and they're 3 metres away here from the line. That's just stupid shit. Like, it's real childish shit, man. Trent Loiero, 15 metres out. Now they give it off to Sean Bloor, and Sean Bloor is 2 metres away from the line. A 6 again for Melbourne. 1 metre away. Harry Grant. Short ball. Storm. No, they'll be held short. And it's going to be first tackle now. 2 metres out here from the line. Okay, this is check your ladder. Titans are Raiders. No, this is the real ladder, mate. This is a serious shuttle. First tackle now. 15 metres out. And it's going to be Tyron Wishart off to Harry Grant. Harry Grant to Nick Meaney. And Nick Meaney is 13 metres away here from the line. Second tackle. 8.5 minutes to go here of the game. 2 points of difference. Harry Grant off to Tyron Wishart. Wishart underneath to Joe Chan. And Joe Chan, nearly got through, but it'll be taken down 9 metres away from the line. Harry Grant out to Grant Anderson. Back underneath to Jack Howard. Not a great attacking set, this one so far. And he pushes away from one. He'll be taken down about 11 metres away. Fourth tackle, 8 minutes to go. Harry Grant with a scoot. Harry Grant with a scoot. Across! Harry Grant's been fucking unbelievable in the second half. Harry Grant's been unbelievable in the second half. Try time for the Melbourne Storm, and the exact same place they scored their last try as well. And it is big Stefano Utuikamanu with the try time. Harry Grant with a huge pass there. Harry Grant has really stood up with the absence of Jerome Hughes, Cameron Munster and Ryan Pappenhausen, but especially since Jerome Hughes went down injured. 7.5 minutes to go here. The game is 32-30 to the Melbourne Storm. And it's about to be 34-30. As I said, Storm need a Lekka Halusima type comeback to win this. Not really. They just scored and they're leading 32-30 with the kick to come. Volt Hunter says Harry Grant's on his best right now. Harry Grant has been the reason for the Storm comeback. They were down by 8 points at one stage. Went back up and took the lead. Roosters then scored again to take the lead. Now Harry Grant sorted them out for another try through Stefano Utuikamanu. Harry Grant definitely deserves the Dally M points of this game. He has scored a try. He's got multiple try assists. And he has really needed to stand up in the absence of the rest of his spine. Yeah, Cooper Cronk wouldn't be happy with that, Zach Hewitt. He's been really on the Roosters bandwagon these last few controversial calls. But close game here. No defense seen in this game whatsoever, but close game. I don't even want to look at the stats to see what the missed tackle, the defensive effective tackle percentage is. And Meaney will get the conversion, so it is 34-30. 34-30 with 6.5 minutes to go here. I want to quickly have a look here at the stats. How many missed tackles? So the error count in the second half has been actually amazingly better than the first half. It was 7-6 errors Storm over the Roosters at half time. It's now 9-8 errors to the Storm over the Roosters in the second half. So that's only 2 errors each in the second half compared to 7 and 6 in the first. That's massive. Missed tackles is 42 to the Roosters and 39 to the Storm. The Storm had 27 missed tackles at the end of the first half, whilst the Roosters had 20. They're at 42 now. So they have over doubled their missed tackles in the second half, whilst the Storm have limited them greatly. But the Roosters will go for the short kick and will get taken over the sideline. They get the ball, but they do go over the sideline. All right, so play the ball here for the Storm at the 38. Davo, Hughes dislocated his shoulder. Yeah, no, it was a serious injury to Hughes, Davo. We've got to wait. The Storm are going to challenge this. No, the Roosters are going to challenge this, sorry. Zesby says, has Coates scored this game? I don't think so. No. No, it's been Josh King, Jack Howarth, Harry Grant, Josh King, Nick Meaney, and Stefano Utuakamanu. So the Roosters are challenging this call with 6 minutes and 4 seconds to go here of the game. Don't forget, we'll be live for both games tomorrow, all 3 games on Saturday and both games on Sunday. No, I think this is just a knockback from the Roosters. Oh, they're saying it does touch Katoa's fingers. All right, here we go. So there's Tupou and Katoa go up for it. I would say if it does touch it, it probably goes backwards. Whoa! They're going to say there's a knock-on from Elias Katoa. Okay, well, I'm not too upset with that one. Sean James says, well, looks like I missed a good game. It depends on what you consider a good game. Defensively, no. 42 missed tackles and 37 missed tackles is just simply not good enough from both these teams. But try scoring and attacking-wise, sure, yeah. Attacking-wise, sure. Like, the effective tackle percentage is 84.43 for the Roosters, which is awful, and 86.46 for the Storm, which is much better second half, but still. It sounds like a few punters didn't get any time try score. Didn't get any time try score for Coates. Yeah, not yet. With 6 minutes to go, but the Roosters here, they're 30 metres out from the line, first tackle. Since Hughes' exit, the Storm have actually really, aimed up. All right, second tackle now for the Roosters at the 24. If you are just tuning in, Jerome Hughes went out mid-game with a dislocated shoulder, which could be an extended sideline injury. Munster out with his dad's funeral in Pappenhausen, apparently meant to be back next week. He's out with an injury, so if the Storm win this, it's a miracle, but they are up right now by 4 points. It's fourth tackle for the Roosters, 8 metres away from the line. Daniel Tupou, he will go to Sam Walker at the 15. Sam Walker then gets it off to Connor Watson. Connor Watson, 15 away. Crunched down at the 18 now. Fifth tackle. Still time for the Roosters, though. Sam Walker, he'll kick this ball across to Daniel Tupou. This is what you want. They knock it on the Storm. So here come the Roosters again, 10 metres away. They're going to have to play the ball. 10 metres away from the line, the Roosters will get another fresh opportunity. If they score and miss the kick, we're looking at a field goal / extra time. If they score and get the kick, they will take the lead. I don't know who takes the field goals for the Storm with no Pappenhausen there. Maybe it's Meaney. Maybe it's Maybelline. Maybe it's Tyron Wishart. I'm not too sure. But their first choice field goal kicker is not there. You'd probably even assume, I don't know if Munster can kick a field goal. But for the Roosters, they've got Sam Walker. If they do have to put themselves in that opportunity. All right, and that's going to be I thought they were going to call a penalty. If it doesn't really matter, it's 4 points. 4 minutes and 18 seconds to go here in the game. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. The Roosters will roll this ball in at the 10. Zach Clay goes out to the left quickly. Off to Ethan King. Hits Grassy McGrath, but it goes backwards. Sam Walker then gets it off to Angus Crichton. And Crichton will get this ball back at the 20. Maybe it's Maybelline, you're perfect. Zach Clay gives it off to Nafahu White. And Nafahu White could run 8 metres out from the line, second tackle. And 6 again. Zach Clay off to Lindsay Collins. It's a huge set in this game. This is the set. This is the attacking pressure. This is the attacking opportunity. Sam Walker at the back to Spencer Leniu. And Leniu is going to be 5 metres away from the line. If the Storm can see, they just don't want it to be close to the post. Zach Clay out to Sam Walker. Sam Walker to Angus Crichton. Crichton now will be taken down 10 metres away from the line. Third tackle. Oh, he's lost the ball. Angus Crichton's not been great today. Angus Crichton's has had a pretty poor game, in my opinion, and he tops it off with that one. That is a mistake from Angus Crichton, and the Storm are going to get the ball here 10 metres out from their own line. Good defence. Good defence there from Melbourne. Angus Crichton having a bit of a rough one. He has definitely lost the ball there. 2 minutes and 55 seconds to go of the game. I don't know if Cooper Cronk likes the Storm, eh? Cooper Cronk has been on a Roosters circle jerk all day. So 31 from 36 completions for the Roosters, 31 from 34 for the Storm. Now the Storm, first tackle up to 20. I understand what you mean now. What do you mean, Sean? What do you mean? What I mean? What did I say? Second tackling out to 30. Do you know what is the story with the Kiwi winger Will Warbrick? He hasn't been sighted since round 1. Surely it'd be an injury because Will Warbrick is one of the better wingers in the game. Surely it'd be injury. They're not selecting Kane Bradley over Will Warbrick. Forward tackle now at the 50. Now it's Harry Grant. He'll get this ball to the 40. Flicked underneath now to Jack Howarth. And Jack Howarth at the 35. It'll be fifth tackle. 30 metres out. Concussion. Concussion, Becky? If he's been out for a long... Concussion? Do you mean... He's been out for like ages, since round 1, as old mate just said. Oh, related. Okay. Tracy says they got Pezzett and Warbrick is penciled in for a return. Because that'll be good. Will Warbrick is a fantastic player. Second tackle now for the Roosters, 20 metres away from their own line. Connor Watson gets it across to Sam Walker. Sam Walker up to Daniel Tupou. And Daniel Tupou with a strong run to the 30. Daniel Tupou has been one of the Roosters' best players this season, pretty clearly for mine. Zach Docker-Clay, he'll get to Crichton. If they don't score this set, Angus Crichton gets a good offload away to Sam Walker. Sam Walker gets it off to Lindsay Collins. Collins can't get the offload away, though. That was really good from Grant Anderson to lock that one up. Fourth tackle here for the Roosters at the 50. They give it to Sam Walker. Sam Walker at the back to Nwanga Tawase. Nwanga Tawase gives it up to Tedesco. Tedesco at the 30. Fifth tackle. They probably won't get another opportunity. Maybe one tackle at best, the Roosters. Sam Walker, that was good rush-up defense. The Roosters, James Tedesco. It's fifth tackle. He flicks the ball at the back. Nwanga Tawase. Sam Walker at the 30. He runs this ball across. He gives it off to Angus Crichton. Crichton out to 25. He'll kick this ball into the corner. It'll have to sit up. It will sit up. And it's going to be a dropout. All right, so the Roosters will get another opportunity here. The Storm can waste 40 seconds. The Roosters are going to get 10 seconds left on the clock at the end of this dropout. They're going to get about 10 seconds left after the Storm can waste about 40 seconds. There's 35 seconds to go now of the game. 4 points of difference. Either way... Oh, no, they've got 8 seconds left, sorry. So they'll still get about 23 seconds to take this dropout. But they won't do it in time, so I would assume... Oh, they did do it in time. Okay, 22 seconds left here. Roosters, 40 metres out. They have to score. If they score and convert, they win. If they score and don't convert, we go to extra time. 12 seconds left. This is the last play right here. They're going to go 33 metres. 8 seconds left. And doesn't matter about the 6 again, but it's Connor Watson to Sam Walker. Sam Walker at the back now to Ethan King. Ethan King, Sam Walker, off to Nwanga Tawase. Nwanga Tawase, he gets away from 1. He's still going here. He's at the 30, the 25, back on the inside, Tedesco. Tedesco to Nwanga Tawase. Nwanga Tawase flicks it up to Crichton. Crichton up 2, that's a forward pass and it's game over. That's a forward pass and it's game over. What a finish. That was actually really, really nifty stuff from Tedesco and Nwanga Tawase, but they do throw a forward pass and the final score will be 34-30 to Melbourne. That is a massive win. As a massive win against all odds there for the Storm with no Jerome Hughes, no Cameron Munster, no little man Ryan Pappenhausen. Still obviously no Will Warbrick. They've shifted Joe Chan into the centres to accommodate Grant Anderson into the halves. They've got Tyron Wishart in the halves. Harry Grant stood up here today. The Roosters now are going to find it an extreme uphill battle to make that top 8. They're staying on 22 points. They will stay in 10th position. And they will go from +8 to +4. Whilst the Dolphins will jump away with them with that bye. The Sharks and Manly still play this weekend and already 2 points above them. They could be 4 points out of the top 8 by the end of the weekend if results go against them. And their points differential isn't great. But that was a real tough loss there for the Roosters. Whilst on the other side, the Storm go back into second position now. and plus 222 points differential. They will go above the Bulldogs on plus 98. They will drop down to third. The Bulldogs still play Manly on Sunday. And Storm just find a way to win. They just find a way to win despite all the fact they had so many players out. That's what Melbourne Storm do. And yeah, Roosters are really going to be hurting from that one. Volt Hunter says Storm win, but at what cost? Correct. With that being said, yes, so Jerome Hughes as well got injured on the play that was actually illegal from the Roosters because it was an obstruction. Tedesco wouldn't have actually been in that space if it wasn't for the obstruction, so that hurts even more for Jerome Hughes. There was a dislocated shoulder. There was word that from the commentary that he had to go to the hospital because they couldn't pop it back in at the ground. Oh, that's what they called a forward pass there on that final play for the Roosters? Oh, that was close. Gee whiz, that was very close. But they did call it forward. So anyway, long story short, Jerome Hughes, there is a potential he might be done for the season, but I don't know. We have to wait and see what goes on with that injury. Munster will be back next week after his father's funeral this week, and Pappenhausen apparently is back next week. So that will help the Storm greatly, but right now, that was a very tough game for them to win, especially being down by 8 points. After Jerome Hughes went down injured, and then Harry Grant, he stood up. He deserves every point of the Dally Emmy today. Every single point. Snickstar says Roosters would have won if he didn't knock on when changing hands on the try. Yeah, Daniel, well, not necessarily would have, because the Storm would have obviously thrown everything they could, and this game was very back and forth, but obviously it would have put them into the lead, which would have had them a great opportunity and looking and sitting pretty for the win there. But look, it was a great game if you love to attack. Not a great game if you love the defense. But like, it was an enjoyable game overall. The Roosters at least limited their errors comparatively to previous games throughout the entirety of their season. Both completion rates were pretty good. Roosters were probably better in regards to run meters if you equate it. Post contact, they beat him even with 16 less runs. Storm had more line breaks. The defense, 45 missed tackles for the Storm and 42 missed tackles for the Roosters is just horrific. That's really poor. Effective tackle percentage was 85.25%, which is not good for the Storm, and 84.99% for the Roosters, which is even worse. Errors was 10-11. At least they limited the errors, both those teams, comparatively to the first half. But look, overall, if you enjoy attack, you would have loved today's game. If you prefer the defense, you would have hated today's game. But anyway, guys, I'm going to jump off here for now. I will see you tomorrow. We've got two games, which is the Cowboys and the Dragons. It was a very 50-50 game. I don't think that either team is playing for too much there. The Cowboys probably playing to officially avoid the spoon, in my opinion, whilst the Dragons, their season's done. Their season's done, but they're just playing for pride, in my personal opinion. And the other game is the Broncos and the Eels. The Eels are playing to avoid the spoon, whilst the Broncos, they're playing to keep themselves up there in fifth, because if they lose, the Panthers beating the Tigers would put them above the Bronx, and Manly and also the Sharks are kind of chomping down on the neck there of the Broncos as well. But if the Broncos win, they keep themselves up there in a hunt for a top four potential. So big game for the Bronx tomorrow. But overall, we'll be there live for both those games. But all right, guys, hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new around here. Appreciate you as usual. And I will see you for tomorrow's games. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. See ya.